gracious, how are we all? How are we all? Hopefully good, hopefully good. Oh my good gracious. Oh man, big how do MJ. Smilers indeed, smilers indeed. Oh my good gracious, oh my good golly. I hope y'all doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. Oh boy, finally getting access to my college stuff and reading the syllabus and the requirements for everything. And boy, am I nervous. You shouldn't be. You're pretty smart. You're pretty smart. I'm sure you'll do fantastic. You'll kill it, dude. Come on. What's the title? What do you mean? It's Scoobert Doobert. Do you not know? Scoobert Doobert do. Also, hello there. Oh my god. About to pass it. I'll be able to watch it a bit. No worries, dude. No worries. Oh my good gracious. Oh my good gracious. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Yippee! Oh my god, I think I'm gonna go eat some chalk and make my tummy feel less terrible over the I don't know if chalk's gonna help that. The number one source for like preventing that issue. I feel chalk has nothing to do with anything like that. I could be wrong. Today I found out my roommate moved in on Friday and then immediately moved out before I arrived, so I have no roommate again. Let's go! I mean, Pog? Is that Pog? I don't know. Oliver, dude, what's up, man? Oh my god. MJ, I don't know. Maybe it's not too Pog to you, but to me, I'd say that's pretty sensational. Come on. Not bad. Oh my god. Also, you know, TikTok might be banned. That's cool, huh? We all think that's cool? Yes, Big Pog? Yeah? Great. Love it. Love that for me. Oh my god. Look, can I chat on my phone and play Minecraft on my iPad? Let's go. Another iconic nap transition. I know, right? I'm good. How are you? Oliver, I'm doing fantastic, my guy. I'm doing fantastic. Can't complain. Life's been good. All that I've ever wanted in life has been going on. One second. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm like 90% sure we're fine. I vividly remember returning. I mean, you know, from the mall. I went shopping. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay, we're good. Yeah, perfect. My good gracious. Ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Oh my god. My friends are all planning for college over spring break, and I've been awake playing Stardew for 3 days. Hey, let's go! How goes the business? How goes the relationship? Are you married with like 11 different farms now? I'll be honest, I don't exactly fully understand how Stardew works. Edward likes it a lot. I know that. I know Edward's a big fan. Me personally, I'm lukewarm. I'm lukewarm on Stardew. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. Oh my god, the mall with the flat. Yeah, exactly. I love hearing old people in politics be painfully unaware of bulldozing over the people they're asking questions to prevent them from answering with things that make sense. I know, right? It's perfect. It's my favorite way of conducting ourselves, you know? It's very, becoming. It's very becoming. It tells people, boy howdy, what a place to work. What a place to try to start a business. What a place to participate in a society, you know? Oh my god. See also Satanic Panic. Oh man. True though. But at least Gary Gygax was able to get through that. I think it's probably like, I'll be surprised if it doesn't get banned, I'll be honest. Not that the ban wouldn't be overturned potentially in future. I would be surprised. Unless they like strike a deal with like Microsoft to host TikTok in the United States. But even then, I don't know if they would. You know what I mean? Like that deal was offered under the previous administration. So I don't know. Nah, but you in the Florida by any chance? Cause I may or may not be going in 2 days. I could be, who knows? I could be anywheres, you know? There's no guarantee of where I may or may not be, you know? He's in Bermuda. Exactly. That's the guarantee. I am always in Bermuda with Kermit the Frog, you know? I got married to Abigail, and me and my friends slept through the winter, so I spent 8 in-game days processing eggs and cheese. It was purgatory. I clawed my way out of hell. Oh my god. Oh, they didn't want the Satanic Panic thing to get learned to not let people properly answer. True. They learned too much. They were like, that Gary Gygax, he was able to answer too many questions. Oh man, I see you refuse to. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't read. Actually, I'm incapable. I have lost the ability to read. It is tragic, really. I struggle with that every day. But thanks for bringing it up. You know, a witch in the woods took it from me. My ability to read. It was intense, actually. It was a long fought battle of wits, but in the end, they beat me on a technicality where they like the devil in Georgia brought just a whole bunch of little demons to play guitar for them. It's a little unfair. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, no one ever said witches had to be fair. I guess no one ever said they had to follow the letter of the law. You know, so it's a shame, but I'll recover eventually. Maybe or not. I think I just need to get a princess to like give me a smooch or something. Maybe that'll fix the problem. Probably not, but you know, I could dream. I could dream. Maybe I'm like Snow White, all right? I'm just under glass right now. I'm under glass in the middle of the forest, awaiting. That's where I'm at right now, you know? Me and Snow White, we are like the exact same person at this point. It's devastating, really. Oh my god. Yes, the devil lost because he was bad and tried to cover it up with sick backup band. Oh my god, what if you get a princess to give you a smooch? I mean, I don't know, are they magical? I've yet to meet a princess that's all that magical, I'll be honest with you. The glass. What does that mean? Yo, Kale, hey yo!
Would you look at that? So close to a 2-year anniversary thinking face anyway to keep this short like a streamer I know. Love you guys. Love Slorpboy and Baby Man Nap who's 13 and by the way don't be late for the stream gif again or else I
wasn't late with the stream gif. I wasn't. Hello, Caleb, and thank you so much, Magician, for the 20 months, dude. I appreciate it, Joker. I do. It is so kind. Oh my good googly moogly. You guys are so kind to me. You know that? Oh my good gracious. I've been working on it. I've been beginning to work on another new thing, and I'm hoping it'll reward this kindness. I hope to at least, or to live up to such things. But thank you so much, dude, for the support. I appreciate it. Oh my good gracious. Someday I'll repay it. Someday I'll live up to it. You know what I mean? I appreciate your support, man. Never mind. I did a thing with my hands, but you can't see that, and I'm not gonna tell you what happened because that. Oh God. I mean, since they were still judged them off fiddly, I guess it's not technically cheating, but yes, it's against the spirit of the competition. True. It's not in the spirit of the law. You know what I mean? How you doing, Caleb? I'm doing pretty well, actually. You know, can't complain. I'm under glass with seven dwarves around me who left the mines to keep me safe after I bit an apple. So you know, not the worst. I'm awaiting my princess to come. You know, give me the smooch that will fix my afflictions. You know? Oh my god. Also, I live in the least rural part of this location, so I can't relate to the song at all. It could be an entirely different. Oh my good gracious! Wait, wouldn't the? I thought it just happened in Atlanta. I thought that was just like how that worked. Oh my god, do I have? I don't. I have bread. That's probably fine. I don't probably need that. I'm gonna go get some more. Oh my god, what do you have for me today, sir? Nothing of use. Never anything of use. Oh god. I'm being a little quiet today, by the way. I'm trying to facilitate a more calming stream, you know? If it's nap time, it should be calming, right? Who's ever heard of a chaotic nap time? Not me for one. From me personally, I've never heard of such a thing. Also, is there an echo, by the way, currently? I feel like there is, but I can't quite tell. I can't tell if there's an echo into the mic right now versus prior, but either way, you're always moving your hands. We know you speak anime. No, you don't know that. You don't know that at all. Oh my good gracious. Oh my good. If I lost that hard in fiddling competition, I would never show my face again. How did they write more of the Bible? Was he not ashamed? Was he not hiding his face? Oh my god. Will you be conscious for the smooch? If yes, you may never heal. me? What do you mean by that? Are you sure I can't get a smooch? Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, Echo, but you are noticeably quieter. I knew it. I knew it. I am normally a lot louder, but today, due to the fact that there's people doing work on a thing in my living abode, and so I don't want to I don't want them to know that I'm a Skype enjoyer. Okay, I don't want people to know, but I couldn't cancel the stream, so I don't want them to realize what's going on in here. I told them I'm on a business call. I told them not to bother me. I'm on a business call, so hopefully that works, you know. Oh my god. Oh man, I'm pretty sure the devil went down to Georgia after the events of the Bible. No, not necessarily. Not if you ask Newt Gingrich, you know. It's just but oh my god, a bad one. No, they will never realize. They will think this is a very important business meeting. That's how this works, man. That's just the way this goes. No one could possibly realize differently. And what, you think they're super powerful and able to just like instantly realize that I have bamboozled them so? No. Thank you for the applause. Oh my god, you're the worst. What do you mean? I am not the worst liar. Oh my god. Gren, what do you mean? What do you mean? That's not true at all. You guys don't know. You don't know. I snuck into, well, never, made my way in as a patron very normally to a location, and you know, we're moving on, we're doing a different story. Anyway, I meet people at cafes and such. It's fine. I hate it here. I hate it here. Oh my god. Get started, Pink. Let's get it started in that. Let's get it started in here. Oh my good god. Was that a slime? Slimy boy! What are you doing here? Give me a slime. I need, oh wait, no, come here. I don't want you to fall in lava. Thank you. No, don't fall! Oh, I thought I couldn't even pick it up if I wanted to. There we go. Okay, it's fine. It's let me just, yeah, let me just do that, and then we'll do that. Yeah, come on, little guy. Come on up here. Oh yeah. Come on, little guy. Yeah, come over here. Yeah, there we go. Give me those. Come on over here, little man. It's fine. Just come on up. Just come on up. It's fine. My PC's dying. The exams are coming up. That's so fun. Oh my god, that's not good at all, Caleb. That's not good at all. Why? That's not fun. Why would you say that's fun? I'm like 90% sure that is the opposite. Nice. We got some slime. It's a rarity. It's a rare resource. In before nap times? Oh, come on. Sarcasm. Love sarcasm. Oh man. I hope you're staying safe, by the way, Caitlin. Things seem pretty dicey, you know. I hope you are keeping safe. You better be. It won't stand if you're not. I will come there and drag you to safety myself. Don't you put yourself in needless danger, my friend. Don't you put yourself in danger. Oh man, Scoobert, the word suit. Oh my good gracious, pop it up. For university, I can avoid exams. Oh, you know, if you know, I kind of relate. So not a bad take. Honestly, a pretty spicy take. Pretty well seasoned, if you ask me. Pretty well seasoned, well oiled, well distributed. You know. What can I throw in here? I don't need that. I'll take those as well. I don't need that. I will take that right back then. Now we go smelt this into smooth stone so I can why did I make that the pattern of the docks, by the way? It's such a annoying pattern to like recreate. It's such an excess. It's such an excessive pattern. And for what? And for why? Unbelievable. Oh, speaking of Christian imagery, I had people somehow get to my door the other on Sunday. That was wild. That was insane. I've not had that happen in so long. It was such a bonkers interaction. I hated every moment of it. But you know what really irked me about it? Cause listen. Also, yo, Dad, what's up, man? Good day to you all. How are you all today? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How are you? For me, what irked me about the whole thing was these individuals of a sect of Christendom came by to, you know, tell me about the good word and all these other things and yada yada yada. Whatever, you know, believe what you want to believe in, and that's cool, that's chill, that's fine. They were relatively respectful, I guess, up until a point, and that's where the things end. And it goes south after that. But in the early stages, it was not. But what really ground me the wrong way is, listen, these people. They're here to supposedly spread the good word of ancient powers in the world. You know what I mean? Like, they're here to tell you, like, yeah, old Jeezy Greasy did this, and he was there and did that, and he walked on that, and he resurrected and all these other things, and that's cool. That's fine. Yes, Greg. Yes, they were. And so, you know, and that's cool. That's fine. That's whatever. I assume, at least. I think that's what they said, at least. But well, that's what they said when I asked, because I was like, so what brand is this? Because, you know, I like to know. I like to know what kind of brand I'm buying. Is it Pepsi? Is it Coke? Is it Dr. Pepper? What am I getting? You know? So you inquire from sometimes, and I was inquiring, they're like, well, you see, we're here to celebrate the greatest of all days to ever occur. And I was like, oh, do tell. And they told me about some who's a what's it that, like, when old Joshua bit the dust, you know, and you know, happens. Apparently they don't believe in Easter or whatever. That was a whole thing where I was like, oh, like Easter, and they're like, no, and I was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Quite honestly, I'm a little confused where we are right now, but sure. But anyway. They went on and on. I was like, all right. So what's up? And they're like, well, can I show you a video? And that grinds me the wrong way. I'm sorry. There's no way that this being in 2,000 years ago, old Jesus was there like, yeah, let me record a quick video. You either believe in what you're saying and should know it, and not need a pre-prepared video to show. Like, they just hand me their phone and I stand there holding it, looking at it. I'm like, okay. Like, why am I awkwardly being shown effectively a TikTok? But and it's the most like blasé thing in the world. It's just like a bunch of kids running on a beach where it's like the promised land. They were gonna show you your own self video. Yeah, they just like show me Minecraft lore. I'm like, oh my god, they be spitting. As someone who was forced to do mission work like that before, it's so awkward when people show up because I know the pitch I would recite it back to you. All I can think of is Mr. Beast is the devil song. Oh my god. Well, see, that's the thing is I'm like, listen, I don't care if you have your own things to spout and you wanna like go be like, well, I want to tell you about salvation or whatever. Like, there's obviously elements of both. I don't mean like spreading hate. I mean like if you want to promote your ideology or whatever, sure, as long as it's not hurting anybody, I don't really care. But don't show me a video. Don't show me a video that's poggers. Yo, Tyler. Yo, thank you so much for the resub, dude. I'll do. 17 months. 17 months. Gosh. Your phone, Mr. Beast. What does he teach? Blasphemy and greed. Oh my God. Lore number 34. The tree. Well, see, that's the thing. Well, and the reason that it ended was because I kind of have a stress test for these situations where that I usually kind of go through of like, do I think this is gonna be an issue? Should I keep chatting with this individual? Should I not? You know, and those stress tests are usually a fairly simple question. You know, it's fairly rudimentary, fairly straightforward, fairly blasé, we'll say. But that question is, you know, 94%. That you chill with them, you not chill with them, good, bad. And I ask this, and then they start telling me about, like, I don't know, the original sin and all these other, and I'm like, okay, well, thanks very much, have a good day. And I may have said something else, but anyway, that's what I'm gonna tell you is what I said. And then I closed the door very promptly, and you know, that's about that. I didn't, that's as much as I'm gonna get into of what I said, but it's just, like my brother in Christ. Like, come on. You can't possibly be going door to door and not be expecting just the most basic of questions. You know what I mean? The original. I know, right? Oh my God. It blows me away. I was like, really? Really? You guys are whack. That is also my limit. Well, that's the thing. I'm like, listen, I believe what you're gonna believe in, but if you're gonna start spouting some hate speech, and that's kind of my general litmus test is just, you know, where does because you know, sometimes even of the same sect feel differently depending on the church, kind of thing. Like, I've met Catholics who are chill, I've met Catholics who are not. And so, you know, I ask that tends to be my litmus test of just like, so the 94%, we pog, not pog? What's the stance, And when you're gonna quote me something about how it's like original sin, then, you know, I'm gonna be, very lightly closing the door. I'm gonna, you know, not be, well, okay, I might have been a little rude, but like, come on, I try not to be, because I'll tell you why. It's not because I care about their feelings. It's because I don't want this person getting the joy of going away feeling like, he's been taken by the devil, and they were so rude and sinful, and no. I don't always, I mean, okay, in this case I kind of was, but still, I tend to try not to be, namely because I don't want them getting the joy of going away, being able to tell people about how awful these sinners are. If they do tell that story, I want them to have had to have lied, because that means they also sinned, so L plus ratio, it's obliterated. Oh my good gracious.
Do you think the 94% are poggers or cringe?
Yeah, exactly. So, poggers or cringe? Uh-oh. So Austin show. How do we feel about Austin show? Poggers, cringe? What do we? That's the litmus test. That's how I find out where people are. And depending on the answer, ooh boy, is it a very different Napoleon you get? Oh my God. In like a serious response, do you usually pretend to hear them out because I don't want to like reinforce the world is evil? Oh, I do. I do usually pretend to hear them out because I do as well. I tend to try to hear people out. That's my point. If they're not openly being like aggressive or rude or openly hate speeching like groups with signs kind of thing, I tend to try to listen to them. It was so fun meeting you at PAX East. Let's go, Tyler! How'd you find your time there, dude? Was it fun? I mean, you know, other than the meetup, yeah. I'm gonna go make myself some tea. Oh, hopefully it's a good cup of tea, Dunjad. Y'all people coming to your door. I do. I don't know how they got in. I really don't. They should not have been allowed. But there, you know, there tends to be bleeding hearts that let that kind of people in. It's annoying. But whatever. Whatever. You can't always stop it. What's a litmus test? Litmus tests are basically like, changes color based on pH. Yeah, I think that's what it literally is. But in terms of like vernacular, it tends to be used as like a just a basic test to kind of gauge where something's at. Is what it means. It means like to get a gauge of like where does this fall in terms of X category. But yeah. To get a good idea of what something is about. Yeah, that's what the phrase. Yeah, it's like testing water. In Nap's case, how they feel about. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I should have just read all of what Pink said before speaking. My god. Save me so much time. When I was around 12, I was forced to do that pretty much all summer, and when people were mean to us, adults would be like, "See, the world's sinful and cruel," which was cringe. Well, see, that's the exact same thing. Yeah, where I'm like, I don't want them to get the justification of. I'm gonna be like, right, I'll hear you, especially like, and I'm fine to hear them out entirely when, even if they're like, oh no, we do accept. I'm like, okay, it's probably not gonna move the needle for me, you know, but I'm like, all right, cool, then I'll listen to you and I'll hear you out. But I will reinforce that, yeah, if you're gonna believe in some awful stuff, I'm really not gonna give you my time. You know what I mean? Y'all know the solo TTRPG 1000-Year-Old Vampire? If not, you can give it a try. Take a spin on the vampire story, except plays the memory lost parts, forgetting important memory, etc. Can be a good stream. Oh, I'll add it to the list. What's a suggestion for a minute? Denny's. Go to Denny's. That's the experience. That's the full experience. Just go to Denny's. And I'm only saying that because the time, like when I was in Florida, I went to Denny's. That's where I went. I went to Denny's when I was in Florida, and that's I felt important. Go to Waffle House. Nah. Go to Denny's. Waffle House is way better, but go to Denny's. I was gonna say, yeah, see, Denny's just felt way more like Florida. I don't know why. It just felt more like it is good. Oh no, don't get me wrong. Waffle House is the far superior food and restaurant and price point. Denny's is the Floridan experience. It was just such a... it's what stuck with me. Not any of the other things. Not any of the other things I went and did there. No. It was Denny's. And I was like, man, that was weird. That was a wild time. Like, don't get me wrong, Waffle. Yo, CW Flash enjoy. Hey, yo. How's it going, man? Thanks so much for the follow. What's your favorite season? And/or favorite villain from the CW Flash? Mr. Enjoyer? Do tell. Now, we can now eliminate the flow. Not necessarily. You can visit a state you're from. For all you know, I go between states. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe that's where I'm from, and I go to college in a different state. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know my life. You don't know me. Season 3. Ooh, spicy pick. Personally, I'm a big season 1 enjoyer. I'll be real. Season 1 and 2 for me, prime. And Captain Cold. Captain Cold's just simply the best. He's my favorite villain. I think he's sick. I think he was great. Leonard Smart. I think it's because I like the actor. The actor I watched him in Prison Break prior. So like I think I just enjoyed the actor. The Waffle House is good and also right amount of chaos, but go to both out of them. I mean, yeah. I mean, both technically are good. I just think Denny's is funny. I think it's funny to be like, yeah, I went to Denny's. Like, what? Oh, what'd you do? Like, that's all you tell people. Like, oh, I went to America, and they're like, oh, what'd you do? And just go, I went to Denny's. Anything else? No, just Denny's. It was good. Yeah. Overrated, but you know, it was good. Like, that's all you tell people about your whole trip. Oh my god, I want to meet you one day. I am corporeal gas. You can, you're gonna tackle me one day. Good googledy moogledy. Oh sweet Jesus. No, don't, please. Did I just Google how to conjugate the verb see when I'm supposed to study literature? Those exams are gonna be great. I'm a little youngster. Oh my good gracious. If you've never been in a Denny's parking lot, I don't know what to tell you. Oh my good gracious. Oh my good gracious. I have a boxing
What's the difference between a vampire and a Jehovah's Witness?
Uh-oh.
A vampire will wait to be invited in before entering her house.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Nah, in fairness, I don't let them pass the door, so no one's ever getting inside. They tried though. They tried. My god, did they try? I was like, no, I'm good here. Yeah. I'm fine here. Yeah. Say your piece. Like, I was like, where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going, you know? Oh, I had blocks of coal. Why was I not using them? I'll set that in there as well, and then that in there, and I need to mostly make bricks. So let me go gather some dirt, I guess, in the interim. It's dirt time, baby! Nap's made out of glitter? Maybe. Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm sugar and spice and everything nice. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe I'm bugs and snails and puppy dog tails. Who knows, man? Maybe I'm both. Maybe I am Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You know? You never know. See that once again, I've restrained myself from saying, oh my god. The scream. Scram. I like scram as an emote. Scram. It's my cat. My time as missionary was kind of funny though, because they had us go to the original sin while me and the girl I was partnered with, we're not immune to the original sin. Oh no. It was weird. I feel like they were gonna tell me the original sin was the creation of Eve, and I was like, what? I was like, huh? What? How is that the original sin? What? Because they were like, when Adam committed, and I was like, huh? When who did what? I was like, are you about to tell me the creation of woman was the original sin? Bro, this is not gonna work out how you think it is. This is, who do you think you're talking to? Oh man. Gotta go now, try to exist in the mortal realm where my physical form is unable to properly function. Well done, Jad. I do hope you're able to function with time. I hope it comes back to you.
The original sin is not subbing with Twitch Prime.
So true, King. So true. The original sin in our own personal religion of the Empire is not subbing with Twitch Prime. In Prime may we trust, you know? So true. It's so true. I'm glad you brought it up, actually. Closer than it was supposed to be. I met at the place out at Funa. I mean, ain't that just the way? Ain't that just the way of things? I feel like that's the case for a lot of like individuals I've met who were or are a part of organized groups like that. I could be wrong. I just, you know, I'm not to like speculate. I'm just saying, you know, we should make a religion around that. We should. This is true. Nepology. Yeah, I agree. But at least I'm acing it in school. Even I missed a bit, didn't I? I've been sick, so I gotta chill, drink tea, and exist. Hey, man. Hey, absolutely chill. You should give yourself a rest. You should what do we call it? You should rest your eyes, even if you don't fall asleep. You should keep your eyes closed. Fun fact: even if you don't sleep in a night, if you kept your eyes closed for the full time, you would genuinely feel more rested than if you didn't. It's a fact. Wikipedia that. Bap. Allow me to attack Stephen the Hack. Guess what I thought the original sin was? Blue raspberry Slurpees. I don't know. Pink Crush. Cream soda. The use of the word where for art thou, which is not a word, it's a collection. It's a collection of words, so I guess it would make sense that was taught as it probably is the original sin, to be honest. Like, to be completely honest with you, probably is the original sin, and I'm being a little pedantic by not recognizing that fact, you know? You know, nothing bad's ever happened by making a religion around one guy. Exactly. Look at Yeshua or whatever. He's a guy and he got the religion built around him. He's fine. He's doing all right. You know. All right. Oh, and then yeah, what we gotta do is no, I put the coal away in the wrong chest. Oh, sweet Jesus. Well, I mean, that wasn't a religion per se, Flash. That wasn't a religion. that was just a bad man. I got named psychology. Let's go. And I wasn't even in school. I'm just that good. Oh, sweet Jesus. I was streaming Minecraft. Oh God, not streaming Minecraft. I hate English and the irregular conjugation of some verbs. I don't actually hate English. I hate the consequences of my actions and procrastination that led me to having to study a year worth of 2 weeks, but I'm kind of impressed I started 2 weeks early. Oh my God. I always thought the original sin was Eve, which is why women are such difficult childbirth. Oh! That is what they tried to teach me. I thought that was, oh my God. How is that possible? How is that possible to be the, whatchamacallit? How's that possible to be the original? That makes no sense. That makes zero sense in general. Also, yeah, I mean, Flash, a cult of personality is not a religion make. I think it could have gotten there. I don't think you're wrong in the sense that, like, I agree. It probably could have gotten there eventually, particularly if there was more like downtime for them. But all in all, it's really just a cult of personality at that point. Most of the public at that time still identified with Catholicism, typically. It still had priests and the like, so, you know, in terms of like the actual religion of the state, it was not exactly a religion so much as it was a populist movement, which, like, populism is very different from religion. I like the song of Cult of Personality. Well, I like the song Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I've been hearing a lot about that song. Oh my God, I've been hearing a lot of that song lately, just from different TikToks, because the audio of like these boys do young puppies singing the blah, blah, blah. You get the point. I don't want to actually sing it. I don't want to actually sing it. So, but anyway, you get the point. But yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that because of the various whatchamacallit, the various different TikToks that have used that audio. Honestly, what a great song. You know what I find fascinating about that song? It's a little tragic, I'll admit. But what's fascinating to me about that song is it's a song Elton John can't perform anymore. Truthfully, he can't. Just because, like, vocally, he can't get there anymore. Which, I don't know, I in some weird sixth sense just love songs like that. I think there's something interesting and poetic about, you know, the artist who created something unable to still either maintain or perform it. You know what I mean? There's something about that. The cult of personality is quite typical in this shit. I mean, yeah, it's that's why populism is very common on the right, just generally. A dictator, well, but then again, like a dictatorship doesn't necessarily have to be right-leaning. It typically is and exhibits those things, but dictatorship technically can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you can have a dictatorship based on more leftist or even centrist ideologies. It just engages in authoritative capabilities. But I digress, I should say. Did you know chainsaws were originally? Yes, I did. Regrettably, I regret that you brought that up. I regret that you brought that up. I did know this. Why did you have to tell me that? Why did you have to re-enter that into my mind? Like, I was aware. I just didn't need to still be aware. My brother informed me on that. It was the worst day of my life. My God. My brother in Christ just shows up. Hey, yo, did you know? I love making Matt regret things. Every day of my existence is, as a Twitch streamer, is regretted. That's a lie. It's been the best time of my life. He literally is your brother in Christ. I don't know. Was he baptized? I didn't see it, so I don't know. I didn't see it happen. They didn't show me when it happened. So how like no one brought me along to see. So I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree. I think it was fake. I think it was falsified. I think it never happened. I mean, I don't know if cult personality that didn't make people believe he was like God or anything. Cult serve religion. No, he very much did. It was a cult of personality, much in the same way of like, I mean, cult of personality is a little different. Like cult of personality is more in the way of akin, I should say, to ideology. Like for instance, like Trump and Elon Musk are both cults of personality. Elon Musk especially because Elon Musk's brand succeeds and fails based on people's belief in him. Particularly in the early days, it's a little more stable now. Not Twitter side, but Tesla side. But Tesla entirely like rose and fell based on whether or not he was liked. That it? No more? No more. You're not making any more. Oh, it just barely even got out. Okay. Oh my God. So my normal pills. And here with my cult knowledge, I'm here for the cult stuff. I don't know anything about the ghost people, ghost boys. But the ghost boys, I do like occasionally hearing them out of context. I approve. I like what they're doing. I like the cut of their jib, you know? Well, people do think Trump is a new Jew. Yeah, but like, I mean, the same's true for one former ruler of Germany. Like, there certainly was a level of that amongst certain groups. I would just say it never got to the point of being so sizable to be true religion. Much in the same way that I don't believe that that's true for Elon Musk or Donald Trump. I don't think either of them got to the point of being true religion per se. Yeah, Caleb, he to some people, he's literally quote unquote, and they were not saying this ironically, he was God Emperor. Like that was an unironic title to some people. They believe he will deliver them from rapture, like, you know, a bunch of other stuff. It's wild, man. It's wild. I mean, in fairness, they're well, much less common. The same was true for some alt-right movements in Europe as well. So it's not a purely American phenomenon. I mean, the same's true for, what was her name? To a much, I should extend, to a much less degree, but we do have some proof that, like, various groups had similar. There's the granddaughter or whatever of Mussolini in Italy. In France, there was a person named Le Pen. But yeah. Did they not know what rapture is? Probably not. I don't know, man. Deliver us from, or maybe I'm misquoted. I'm saying deliver us from, in the sense of, like, take people to heaven. Like, be the savior. You know what I mean? He's the second coming of Christ to them and all these other things. I mean, I met Fred's because a dude that convinced people he was God. I would save them for, it was wild time. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god, my clay. My clay! Oh, it's going, it's boiling! I'm getting bricks. Jay Le Pen. Well, see, what I find interesting about, and I'm not speaking, I'm not super well versed, so I correct where I'm wrong. But from what I can tell from the outside, looking in, because I've only, a lot of my knowledge of quote unquote modern politics in the country of France comes from my knowledge of historical politics, rather than, I have a lot more knowledge on it based on a historical lens rather than a modern lens. But both major parties, in the sense of like the party that, which I don't know the names off the top of my head, but Le Pen and Macron, both present as Bonapartists, not literally per se, but like in terms of like hearkening to that ideologue, which is a very interesting way of skewing, like of demonstrating themselves, and the populism and the idea of the populism and the style of governance and the financial effects of their governance and stuff like that, and this idea of to various degrees of France first and all these other things. And where they could be. It's just really interesting. Is bricking up, you could say. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of bricks ready to go. You know what was a Kool-Aid, right? Yeah, it was Kool-Aid jammers, bro. It was like 7 of them. They were like, here's a Kool-Aid jammer. And he was like, yeah, woo! There. It was applesauce. Imagine if it was. Imagine if it was. That would be way funnier. I mean, none of it's funny per se, but you know what I mean? Like, imagine if it was just applesauce. It'd kind of be hilarious. Like, just, oh yeah, just got them all to eat a bunch of applesauce. Like, what a way to go. Like, because that's like a little slower too. It's like a very like, look at it, but it's goopy. It's goopy and kind of gross. It's like. Is in the middle of the road yet? Oh yeah, no, he's not. Barely hidden imperial. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, both are Bonapartists. To various degrees. Le Pen more so, and we're a bit more. See, in my opinion, I think Macron sees himself, or I think particularly prior to, or in lieu of Angela Merkel stepping down, I see him as seeing himself as the not that this is necessarily true, as the guiding force of the European Union now, as the especially with Britain bowing out, where he was like, yes, we now guide the EU, which is not necessarily true. I don't know if it was a thing out of like seniority that he felt that way, but yeah. Anyway, Minecraft is a silly little game. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't get on this topic. You're right. My bad. I don't know why I repeated myself twice there, but where I went, my bad. I fell. Somebody call the police. I need their help. Bah. A crime's been committed. Let me sleep. It's in the sense of a turn of phrase, not in a literal. Oh my god. Your chat, you know my opinions. Oh my god. You would have loved it, bro. Oh my god. I will say, the man knew how to get an Arc de Triomphe built. The man understood Roman architecture. I will say, Caleb, though, I did kind of like the not like in a true like, but it was kind of funny way of an advance of the election that occurred. Where like you know, like last year where there was those like Vogue magazine style photo shoot of like on the phone with like, I don't know, Putin or whatever for like Ukraine. Like it was just such a funny like. I was like, bro, why are you modeling right now? Like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm not saying he's not a good-looking man, he is, but like, bro, why? It's just like, this is not the time. Why are you doing like a full-on like photo shoot for this, bro? Like, it just felt excessive. I was like, does he think this makes him seem like a real cool wartime leader or something? Like, does he think people are gonna see this and be like, my god, he's taking it so seriously? He's really out there serving to help the people. Vive la liberté. Oh man. Bobby Reed, bottom of the river. The Delta. Well, I'm sorry. What? What are all those? I keep getting distracted with a clipboard and copy something else. What is that? What did I just read? Probably not a message for me, that's for sure, but still. Oh man. You know what else, by the way, that I was gonna say earlier? Something I've been thinking a lot on is and Pink, you'll probably like this one. You think of math on occasion, right? You're aware of math. That's something you consider from time to time. I do believe. I do declare. Because if so, I find it very intriguing. Ugh, maths. Oh my god, I am the man. Thomas is literally Jesus. Wait, what? I do like maths. Do tell. Well, so you're aware of E equals MC squared, right? And how that's like a really central thing to like a lot of important math, and how it's like, oh wow, E equals MC squared. Albert Einstein, you genius. I think he just predicted Minecraft. I think E equals Minecraft squares, like in Minecraft squares. I think E equals MC squared is really just E equals Minecraft. What are you literally talking about? What do you mean I'm literally talking about? E equals MC squared. MC meaning Minecraft, and squares is in all the squares in Minecraft. Albert Einstein really wanted to play some Minecraft. He knew. He knew! That's physics, but okay. You're right, Greg. There's absolutely no math in physics. My mistake. Math simply not found in physics. These two things entirely separate. These two things entirely kept separate for all of time. You thought there was gonna be a math question? I'm sorry. Do you know who I am? Do you know what stream you're on? I'm Napoleon. The most math I do is counting up to the 7th, and that's it. E equals MCC technically. MCC, yes, Minecraft Championship. MCC. Every month there's an MCC. You're so right, Caleb. You're so right. You're so based for that, King. You're so based. Greg, what? What? Come on, Greg, what? He's fine. He's fine. Don't even worry about it. Come on, it's a little funny. It's a little funny. It's a little funny. It's at least a little funny. Is he reduced to MCC? or MC squared so equals MC squared. Yeah, Minecraft squares. Chatters, I feel like you're just not accepting the joke that I'm forcing down your throats right now. Why? Why are you rejecting the serum? Why are you rejecting this medicine? I'm saving math for all time. I'm just very surprised. You know what? I hope someday I get to meet someone who's like math teacher used that, or like physics teacher to like use that to explain it. Like when on the PowerPoint had a photo of Minecraft as like, you know how teachers will sometimes, you know, try to have fun, and you know, as all teenagers do, you just hate it inherently. I mean, totally, we all did that. We all hated it. Yep, hated it. Definitely never found it funny. Nope. Who has good relationships with their teachers? Weirdos. Anyway. But anyway, I am helping you. I know, Caleb, I know it. I love you for it. I love you for it. Think I'm so sad I spent ages memorizing quadratic equation. Fill the equation sheet. Oh! Very funny joke. Thank you. I work so hard. I work so hard to achieve the job. Your goal have a good relationship with teachers is good. No. Yeah, but I'm reaching out to all the real youngins these days. You know, the youth, not like me. The youth, the teens out there, the real teenagers who are just out there being teenagers, hating things, you know, being cranky about things because they didn't sleep well. Yeah. Next you're gonna tell me you like go for tea at the same time in a professor's office because you enjoy talking to them about a subject and they seem to enjoy talking about it with you, and they ask you like, oh, you want to come back to my office for some like tea and we can further discuss, and I go, yes I do. And then they say, hey, have you ever considered being a teaching assistant? And I go, no. Does it pay? And they go, well, in a matter of speaking. And I go, oh. Oh my God. You darn American math is hurting my maths. Oh my God. Math. Oh my God. Yeah, Oliver, I didn't even know that was, I thought that was a banned term in this chat. I thought those were banned terms. Sleeping is something I would like. Yeah, it'd be nice, huh? I may or may not have slept in some classes. Oh, I was very hit or miss with teachers whether or not they like me, basically, either adore me or hate me. But the awesome story. In fairness, same. It kind of just depended on some things. I can't say I recommend what I did to my teachers for anybody else. Maybe it was not the best move. I don't know. I think I've already told like some of those stories. I don't think I need to reiterate. I was a problem's a strong word. Well, they weren't my biggest fans at times, you know, but that happens. Ow. Some of them loved me. Some of them were big fans. Big fans. Others, not so much. You know? It just be the way it is. I'm so annoyed, I know that. All teachers love it. I honestly, Oliver, I believe that. Now, if Sam said that, I wouldn't believe him. I believe Sam? Nah. I don't think so. I think he was a troublemaker. I think he was out in the halls every class. He was put out in the hall. Kicked out every class. I believe it. You can't convince me otherwise. That man's got trouble written all over him. And not the fun kind. He's bad news. He's bad news bears. Okay, they should actually probably go over there. I realized in life that I was, from the teacher's perspective, apathetic to class and constantly doing anything but work. well, maybe they should get a better perspective. Maybe they should get a better perspective. L plus ratio. Have you ever considered that? Wow. Wow. My teachers like me, not always reciprocal though. Fair, valid. It was because I was already done. Oh, they also like me because I knew how not to get caught. Fair, valid. That is also a good skill to learn, chatters. That is a valuable skill for these kind of things, you know? You can get away with a lot more if you're in that sort of scenario. See, I just enjoyed, whenever I would get kicked out, I could just go to the band room and just, you know, play some jazz for a little bit and then go to my next class. Like, I would, like, if I got kicked out, I would just, you know, roam the halls for a little bit, and then my teacher would see me, like my band teacher would be like, hey, come listen to a new chart I'm working on, and I'd be like, okay. And then I'd go see them. And then we'd noodle around for a little bit. Some of the other jazz members would use it. It was weirdly mostly the jazz band that constantly got kicked out of class and like had to have this thing occur. But yeah. I always got away with it so much because they trust me. Like I didn't do homework, so I thought a generous strategy. Taking photo of my friend's work, who was on the opposite side of the room. I went to before class. Oh my god. Oliver! It's cheating! I did the work, I swear. Here's a photo of it. I took a photo, but I left it at home. Oh my god. Man, I ran a pyramid scheme at a school. Oh man, never mind. I'm not talking about that. Never mind. No. That one. No, we're not discussing that one. I gotta go throw this thing in. Or in some classes I would. Oh, I definitely missed something. What? I always. Oh, I also was like always on my out of my seat thanks to my mom acknowledgement that I had ADHD, saying that it never affected me, and looking for stuff to do. Fair, valid. Or in some teacher case, I would explain how to do work to my friends who were having a hard time, and some of them hated that I was undermining them or whatever. That sounds... one second. That sounds idiotic, and like they are getting beef with a child. That's weird. It's a weird thing to do. It's a weird thing to be bent out of shape on. You know that? It was for marbles? Oh, that's not bad. That's, so when the jazz band got kicked out of class, they got to go play jazz. Yeah, pretty well. Will be a reward? Well, it wasn't, the teachers didn't know that's what we were doing. Just, we knew that the band, like, we knew the band teacher who, like, led the jazz band, and he just was, when he didn't, like, he just happened to not always have class outside of the mornings, typically, because the mornings was when he tended to have, he was very front-loaded for a lot of his classes, and so he's just chill about it. He like had his, he taught during the mornings and he graded stuff in the afternoon, so he's just like, yeah, come on in. He wouldn't do that for most students, to be fair. I think he just liked us a lot. I think because we spend a lot of time with him outside of school, because, you know, it's like you're there for hours playing, like you're just musicians working together at that point, kind of thing. So it was this whole thing, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think the teachers definitely did not realize we were going and doing this. Like every other teacher had no clue, and I only knew that because at one point I ran into the vice principal, who was just like, hey, got a message? You were sent to my office? I was like, no, they just kicked me out of class. Yeah, you're meant to go to the office when that happens. I was like, oh, huh. I've never done that before. And they're like, what? And I was like, I've never gone to the office when I've been kicked out of class. That'd be insane. Why would I do that? I got way better things to do. And ultimately, they just were like, well, what do you do? And I was like, I go do my homework. Which is true. That's not a lie. I go do my homework. It happens to be my homework for my jazz class, but you know, it's my homework. My homework just happens to be learning scales and tunes. It just happens to be playing an instrument. So like, oh, I just go to this hall and do my homework. I use the band room to go do my homework. It's a quiet place to study, because he doesn't have class in the afternoon. And the VP came with me, and he's like, hey, are you aware that like Napoleon comes in here and does his homework? And he's like, yeah, of course. I help him with it sometimes. Not a lot, just, you know, when he needs it. And I think he presumed that meant, like, if I had a math question, which there's no shot that man was helping me with math. Like, I think just no, it never clued in for anybody else that, like, what we meant, because we were very upfront. We just didn't say, oh, we're playing instruments. Like, I think they just never clued into the fact, because the other thing is, you might think, oh, well, wouldn't they hear the instruments be played? Well, one, it was a fairly soundproof room. You could hear faint music from outside if you were listening, but he also just plays jazz records all the time. There was no way to know if it was live or not. Like, yeah, that's on them. They just presumed that meant, like, regular homework, and like, I just... Because, you know, they like to foster good relations with teachers and the student body. So I think they just presumed it was a quiet place for study hall. And we know this is probably what they presumed, because there was one day that another kid who was not in band got brought in by the VP, who asked, like, hey, is it okay if he, like, studies in here too? And we were like, yeah, he can do his homework in here. Probably. You'll have to ask Mr. And they were like, okay, yeah. And like, this kid was just there for a bit. He was working. All of us were kind of just like sitting around. He's like, so, are you guys gonna do your work too? Or do you guys just not do work here? I was like, no, we just, well, and then we explained, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go to the cafeteria. And he just went to the cafeteria. He just was like, yeah, all right. Because we were like getting out our instruments, he was confused. And like, we were doing it so naturally because of course that's what we always did. So there was no reason for him to seem like to question why this was happening. He just presumed, I'm sure he just was like, oh, I guess that's just what happens here. Because it's the band room. So anybody from the outside would just presume, oh yes, of course the band room is used to play instruments. And the vice principal, who seemed so normal about bringing me here, most assuredly knew that that's what this is for, of course. And that is just not the case. That man had absolutely no idea, not a clue. It's hilarious. This man really just thought we were like in there to, I don't know, do math. And I was like, no, we were playing instruments. It was. I think he didn't give it. No, we were pretty sure because the band teacher did say, yeah, I don't know if he realizes, but you guys could, like, you know, we want gold this year, so we're gonna keep this good thing going. And like my band teacher saw the value in it because we were getting extra practice time. He was like, you might not practice at home, so and I want gold this year, which we normally got gold anyway, so it was like whatever. But he was like, and I want gold, so I think it's creatively more stimulating. And I was like, fair enough. He was also like, so like, are you, like, if you weren't here, are you really gonna do your homework somewhere else? And we're like, no. He's like, yeah. So ultimately, I'm doing the better thing. Anyway, you guys want Subway? And they need to go get a Subway sometimes. Competition? Yeah. Well, sorta. Some of the some competitions, like state and stuff like that, were truly competitive, but like others were like gold was just a standard. Like multiple groups could win gold. It was more about like getting to the standard of gold. It was rare, like it was more marching bands in my opinion that compete. Like we didn't really do the like competitive version. It's more you're competing against yourself in my experience. It was less of like, oh yes, of course, competition. Yeah, that's the thing. Marching band is more of the like, oh yeah, we're going to compete against each other. Jazz bands and stuff like that mostly just met up and just played, and then like you would then go to a workshop afterwards where like a teacher, like a renowned, like they'd be judged occasionally by like, oh, I don't know, like a case, I don't know, like a professor at Juilliard or like Berkeley or something like that would be like the guest judge, and they'd show up because Berkeley's got like a great jazz program or whatever. And they'd be like, right, so like at the top of Birdland where you like da-da-da-da, which is like one of the songs that we played, like they'd go over like, right, so it kind of sounds like you're hitting a little too hard, and it would just be like pointers. And then you'd get to work with them for a little bit, which was like an interesting thing because, you know, a new band leader and stuff like that. Get some experience that way. You'd get to meet musicians. And that was the version I like more. I wasn't a big fan of like the whole like, go compete against each other to win a trophy. No, we just like, we got quote unquote gold, but it was like gold in terms of a standard. Like just everyone could win gold technically. I just never went to competition. Yeah, see, I avoided the competitions that the school made us do, which were the like there's one like those were the ones my band teacher wanted us to do. The school and the marching band wanted us to join with them to go. Like I didn't do marching band, but the school wanted us to like fill occasionally and stuff like that. Like if they were like missing a couple people, they'd be like, yeah, can you fill in for like this person, or this person? I would be like, okay. Like I just like I would occasionally get called for like first trumpet or whatever to like take that seat just because I had the best range, which isn't like a flex, I swear to God. It's just like you learn different skills. Some people are far better. Like I was not a good soloist. Solos off the top of my head, jazz solos, not my forte. My forte was far more first trumpet in terms of the percussive nature of it and also the technicality. I would say no. Well, I mean, occasionally, yeah, you'd just be like, nah, I'm busy. But you know, they're like, don't you want to help the school pride? I was like, no, not really. Just chilling music. Yeah, exactly. And the same was true for concert band stuff as well. So like, which is more like formal orchestra style. So like, you know, it was like, which was sick because sometimes we'd play some like what's it called, so some charts that were like obviously more like traditional, but then occasionally we'd get to just like mess around with like scores to movies, and that was always fun. Because you know, how could that possibly not be fun? You know what I mean? Like that was just a blast. It was great. We'd just be like, yeah, let's go. What are we doing today? Oh my God, we're doing Star Wars. Let's go. Oh my God, Jurassic Park. Don't mind if I do. I was in concert band and wanted to do join jazz band until I realized I hated band. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, fair enough. It's not for everyone. It could be like just even like, and I mean that genuinely, like in terms of musicality, like it's not to what everybody likes in music. Really good put all together. Thanks. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it made like a really cool, because it's meant to be like kind of semi-industrial looking, like not super industrial, but like industrial enough that you'd be like, oh, okay, industry, yes. Nap is against pride. You heard it here. What do you mean? Oh my god. I'm against needless school pride for no reason. And so was my band teacher. Oh my god. He literally like on the weekends would just go gig. Like he was just a musician who like this was just his day job. Like, and it was great. Like he was very knowledgeable about everything. It was just kind of like, I think like this doesn't put anything. He was like bigger in like a part of an actual band in the 80s that was pretty big, but he couldn't really continue because he had a kid. Like, so he just ended up having a kid and then got married for that, and then was like, yeah, the life on the road, it's not really like having to go around and tour to do all these other things. He was like, yeah, it's not fair to my kid. I'll get it. I'll just gig locally, like in the village that we live in the village, in the hamlet. I'll gig there. Should be a small number. Well, no, it was like, yeah, I'll just gig around, and then like when I got time, and otherwise he picked up a teaching job because he's like, yeah, I can teach it. So yeah, that's kind of like how he got to where he was. It's pretty good. He was just so chill about it all, man. He was just so chill about it all. I'm the sweet dealer at school because I'm deaf as well, so they can't tell me off for having 5 bags of sweets. Imagine they do, though. Imagine they try. You're like, oh, you fool, you idiot. Don't you understand? I'm gonna end your career. It can't be poggers. It can't be like awesome. You just like ended their career that way. That'd be hilarious. I mean, probably not like literally. It wouldn't probably literally be hilarious, but you know, it'd be pretty funny. I'm waiting for that day. Yeah, you could just be like, yada 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 desu. It's coming along. It's coming along. Good night. Sleep, whelp. Whelp? Is that a command? Are you telling me to sleep and that I'm a whelp? Is this a command? Sleep, whelp. Oh. The way I capitalize on misbehavior of my brother is crazy. What does that mean? What do you say? Man's is out here running the business, based all around this, literally capitalizing on it. I have my phone out when I use my monitor to check blood, and knowing me, I'll probably give it to them. Oh, Oliver. Bro, actually, I do remember there was like this one teacher who like put their foot down and stuff like that. Like the kid had an EpiPen. They were trying to like stop themselves from going into like shock from like, cause somebody had like a Reese, and like they were just like, oh yeah, there's like, here's my Reese's like peanut butter cup. Whoa. 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 What's up, boys? What's going on? Nothing good. Okay, 1 second. Let me just. Yeah. I don't want to get gunky. So can you guys just like. Yeah. Thank you. 1 second. Yeah. Just a little over this way, yeah. There we go. Oh, thank God. Didn't want to get gunky. Did not want to get gunky in the slightest. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, see, I don't really want their like blood and guts on me. I would much rather just them shoot each other. It's so much easier. It's so much easier. The banner sure has some bad vibes if you take it from them, you know? Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty ominous, you know what I mean? It seems like kind of a bit of an ominous thing. So I don't know. I kind of hate them. I'm not a huge fan of those banners. But you know, they're gonna try to do what they're gonna try to do, you know what I mean? Felt a little ominous, that's all. It just felt kind of ominous. That's all. Just a little ominous. Wow, look at that tick down. Banner, I hardly know her. One of these days that's gonna land. One of these days, chat, you're gonna be, I swear to God, you're gonna be rolling on the floor laughing. You're gonna be raffle copter. That's it. That's what it was. You're gonna be raffle coptering. It's gonna be awesome. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get them peepers? Jeepers! This is Jinkies! Likes! Well, hell. What if that's what Fred said? What if Fred just went, well, hell? I wish it was. I wish that is all Fred was allowed to say. Was he just look at the camera and be like, well, hell. Where's Southern Fred? Come on. A dude would love to build traps when he was, if he was Southern. He would be like, well, you see, Daphne, if an account of my here lasso, I'm gonna be able to catch that there varmint like no problem. It's too easy, it writes itself. Hey, gang. See, and he even calls them gang. Nappy, a snare was right there. Well, he already uses those. He already uses snares. That's just like a trap that anybody uses. That's not even like, that's not specifically Southern. Lasso, on the other hand, whoa, that's pretty Southern. That's pretty Southern. Like, it's at school, my brother was ditching class, and he was more scared about my parents finding out than the actual school punishment. So I was the, what the school called when they asked me that up there. I literally used the I said they were working hard for us to provide a lot, but they were too busy to deal with the school to pay for that. My father gave us 70% of his allowance. Oh my God. Good golly. Lasso is more Western than Southern. Lasso is quite Southern, just maybe not Southern in the one state that a lot of people don't honestly consider Southern. I feel if most people think of Southern, they think of cowboys, and most people who think of cowboys think of lassos. Or did you mean lasso versus lasso? Lasso. Lasso. Pink's gonna come murder me, I swear to God. Pink's gonna, like, just in a video game obliterate me. It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be the worst. Yo, Cameron 636. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, dude. I'm gonna, like, one of these days I'm gonna badmouth a specific state a little too far. Oh my God. Should have been left with Spain. You ever just not use your tool and then be like, wow, I really could have just been doing a lot more simple things, huh? I could have made life a lot easier for myself, but I chose the difficult path. Me, Napoleon the Seventh. What's the fastest XP farm to make early on? Fastest early on. Well, probably an iron farm, honestly. Just because it gets you two things, you know what I mean? Well, maybe that's not true then. Maybe that's not the fastest. That's just maybe the best option. But probably like an iron farm or like maybe a, might be something with Skulk now, actually. That would be probably maybe a bit better for that option, you know what I mean? Find a spawner. Well, a spawner's pretty good, but it's not like perfect, you know what I mean? And requires you to find the thing. No, sir, stay away from me, please. Well, that was easy. My boy was one shot. Oh my God. Doesn't do much for XP stuff. It kind of just erodes your whole world is what it does for it. Like if you did it up top, it would not be good. I feel it's I don't know. I haven't really looked into it much. I guess I should say that. I remember hearing some preliminary stuff that sounded pretty exciting, but I don't know. I guess in fairness, nobody's really switched to it, so it probably isn't that good. What is possible is probably just not that good. Because no one's really switched to it, and that's usually a surefire sign that, well, wasn't too good of an option. Why would I ever want to put that up there? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now, Betsy. I can't tell if they're gone yet. I can't tell if the people working are gone, and I'm concerned they're not, and I'm concerned that they're still out here just chit-chatting their way around like, boy howdy, that guy in there sure is insane. That man is an insane fella. I already didn't like it because when they showed up at the door, never mind what they asked me when they showed up at the door. Never mind. They asked me something and it was stupid. But anyway. Not in so many words. No. Kinda, yeah. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I hate it here. This is stupid. I need to, oh, come on. Leave me be. Listen. They're ancient. They just think anything. They think like anything under 1,000 is you know, like they. Shut up. You guys suck. You guys suck. Come on, please. Oh my god. So bad. Also, I maintain, total sidebar, I maintain, which I discussed last week and I've since talked about with a friend, that I was like, listen, the worst thing that could happen, if you were ever on that show Hot Ones, you know, the show with the hot wings and stuff like that, like, if you were ever on that show, the worst physical thing that I think could happen to you is that you either, like, bit your lip or your, like, cheek, like, inside of your cheek, or, like, split your tongue or something like that, or, like, had, like, some sort of cut or something, like, because, like, I can't imagine that doesn't just absolutely make it a billion times worse. Like, just imagine. Just imagine. That would be awful, man. That would be awful. It would be searing through you. You would be you'd die. You'd be dying. You guys, you know, you're something else. You know that? Yeah. Oh my god. Let man live. Let me live. Oh my sweet Jesus. Holy crow, what? Oh my god, Caleb, leave me alone, please. What a beaut? What do you mean? What do you mean? What's a beaut? What do you... Who did that? Obliterated. Simply the docs. Oh yeah, I'm quite a fan. I'm a fan so far. I need to do the back part of that still. But yeah. Just like in general, I'm pretty happy with kind of how they turned out. I need to finish up a few little extras. Like I think I would rather them to kind of look more like that all the way around. I was toying with what I wanted for that. But yeah, no, I quite like how the docs look. And just in general, they're all maybe specifically looking like a specific shape for a reason. But anyway. Read the message directly above. Oh my god. Scoozy? Couldn't understand. I thought you said wrong. An oval, so true, King. It's all about the ovals. Wop. Wop, wop. Oh, do I have more? Okay, I had this. I was like, I swear to God, I had more. Maybe an egg. I guess that means the yolk's on us. Ah, yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, my sweet Jesus. Well, what can I say? It's just the way it goes. Oh, my God. Ah! You know what I will say, actually? So funny, like kind of circling back to, the people who came to my door and stuff like that. One of the things that I think is kind of... Ah! That went so quickly! Yo, Potato Sack, thank you so much for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. Something I've always found kind of funny is how just absolutely, like, mystified some people are by topics like that. You know what I mean? Just loom there over Nap's head. Excuse me. I've been saying for a while doing pretty good. Hey yo, Pog. What do you mean you're saving your points? What are you saving your points for? What are you saving your points for? Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't trust that. I don't trust that for a minute. Don't save your channel point. I don't trust you to not just obliterate me. What do you mean? I don't like that. I don't like that. It's not allowed. I'm gonna just delete everybody's. I don't even know if I have that power. I don't think I do. I'll be honest. Hardcore game. That's what we like to see. Let's go. How's your afternoon been? It's been good, dude. Can't complain. Can't complain. All that's needed to been done has been getting done for me and stuff like that. You know, I've been for the most part able to achieve all that I wanted to do today. Went to a nice little cafe for some lunch earlier. Oh my God, it was delicious. It was delicious. It reminded me why I enjoy cafes so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, Caleb would hate it because I did in fact get a sandwich made with a croissant, which he just seems to abhor. The idea of it seems sacrosanct to him or whatever. It seems like the ultimate sin. But alas, that just be the way it is. Oh my God. Pink, I'll fight you. How dare you? Oh my God. Oh yeah, I have a few more than that. Yeah, I wonder, MJ, I wonder how many you have. Isn't it like 250,000 or something crazy like that? It might be around, I forget. All I know is I'm pretty confident I think I have no. Oh, is it not? Is it 170? Is it 170? Is that what it is? Mans does not like 279, 372. I wonder. One second. Despise me? No, surely not, Caleb. That can't be. Oh wow, that's impressive, MJ. You're catching up to me. Not from this channel. You're catching up to me. You're catching up to me for a streamer that I watch, which is impressive. You can't possibly. How could you despise me? A face like that? You despise? No. Say it ain't so. Maybe. What's it to you? Punch you to the moon? Come on. Have you even tried one? Have you even tried a sandwich made that way? I bet you I'd make you a killer sandwich. I'd make one for you. You'd fall in love with it. It'd be easy. You'd love it. You'd be like, wow, this is so delicious. And you know what? I'd change your life. I hardly know her. Oh my god. Maybe it's jokes like that. Maybe that's why they ask. Maybe that's why they ask. I mean, no, clearly no physical reason. It's got to be my personality is why they would ask me that. There would be no physical reason why they would ask me if certain people are home. That would be insane. That'd be bonkers. There's just no way. Because oh my god. Obliterated. I knew it. I knew I wouldn't be the only one. Let's go. I don't know how I feel about the tinted glass. You know what I mean? I don't know how I feel about it. I feel it could be cooler. I feel like maybe blue or something might be a bit nicer. But alas, it should be this way. It just be that way. You know what I mean? Let me make some stairs. Perfect. 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Wait, is that 6? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is. There should be 6 here then. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I fell through the ground. What? Okay, well, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Perfect. Life is good. Life is good. This is exactly what I needed it to be. This is exactly what I needed it to be. But it's cool still. Yeah, I feel like maybe blue might work better for it. Like I used blue on one of the factories over there, and I think I kind of like that vibe. But I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because on the one hand, I do like the options that the tinted glass gives me, that like there won't be any light sources in there that aren't controlled by like what I want to do. So like I think that's kind of good for it, you know what I mean? Like it's good to be able to be like, oh yeah, the only light that is available is light that I chose to have there. I think that's useful for like farms and various little projects I might end up doing in that inside of this building. Because yeah, kind of the point of the of this factory is that, you know, I can kind of just do any sort of project within it. Around, it'll be better. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Because I want it to be relatively plain. Because, you know, it's factory. It's factory windows. It's not meant to be like super nice. Why? Why would I wanted you to go there? Never in a million years would I have wanted you to go there. Come on. Anyway, sorry. What I was gonna say though was earlier. So like, you know how there's this kind of like have you ever met people who are like mystified by the idea of like other religions? Like maybe they were raised one way and so they're inherently mystified by the concepts and ideas of all other ones, and they don't know and choose not to learn, and they just kind of like get very confused and stuff like that. Like I had a friend once who I remember, like, you know, they were often very confused by what exactly would go on, for instance, for like people who practice Judaism or whatever, because they'd be very confused. They'd be like, oh, can you do that? Can you not do that? Like you know, in a way that was just very weird. Like it's one thing to be caring enough to like inquire and be sure that like things are the way they're meant to be, but like it'd be the most insane and mundane things. You'd be like, oh, I didn't know you guys celebrated birthdays. Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you didn't know that? In what way did you not know that? Oh, I've never celebrated like a Jewish birthday. Yes, you did. Yes, you have. You've done it a million times. Every Christmas you do that. Every Christmas you do just that. You celebrate a Jewish guy's birthday. What do you mean you've never celebrated one? And they're all meant to be exactly like that. They're all meant to be exactly like that. Oh my god. Come on, why are you so mystified? Clearly, it's pretty clear what it's meant to be. Come on. I've never done this before. You've done it a lot, actually. You like yearly. You set aside the date often. take it off work, you know? It's weird. It's a little weird, man. Oh man! Oh, that was another thing. I misunderstood when the Jehovah people were like at my door or whatever. I misunderstood what they meant. They were like, "Oh, well, like coming up is the most important day in all of Christianity," and I was like, "Oh, wait, are you guys celebrating Jesus' like actual birthday? That's so cool. I didn't realize you guys would be like celebrating the like real birthday." And they were like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, because like we can date that he was actually born in March, and they just overtook some pagan holiday." Nope, that was not what they wanted to hear. That was not what they were looking to learn about. Evidently, my fun facts, not that fun to them. They seemed a little put off by my fun facts. I'm a little sad about that. I'm not gonna lie. They seem to not enjoy the funness of my facts. I thought they were very fun. Too much of a history. I was just like, wow, that's so cool. Like a group's actually celebrating the real one. No, that's not what's happening at all. That's just not what's happening. You know what I mean? Like I was like, ah, man, jeez. Or overtaking. Oh yeah, I know most of them are. Like I think it's something like 60% of them are. Like they're almost no original ones. I mean, honestly. Would it be bad? Like I kind of want to do that, so just like bring a small little chunk of gold, myrrh, and frankincense. I thought this happened for all of them. I thought that's what we do for all of these. It's just not. I thought that was customary. I don't know, man. I've only ever been to one. I've only ever been to one Jewish birthday. It was like a big thing, you know. You follow the star to get there. It was this whole thing. I feel like that'd be great. You just set those down in the box. You'd be like, I'm sorry. I just, you know, yay, have a goal. It was such a weird experience where I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean, ma'am? Well, I've never. But people will be like that. They'll be like, oh, geez, wait, can I do that? Can I? So you don't eat cow? Like never ever? Okay, but like you've had a burger. No, what do you mean? What is this line of questioning? Why is it that difficult to believe? It's not like I'm not even like ascribed to anything, but with the price of beef, I don't eat a lot of beef. Like, what do you mean? For well, climate reasons more than price, but still, you know, you follow the star to get there. Okay, hey, come on, they did. They followed a big old star in the sky. Does that not lead to all of them? Is that not like common? Maybe don't bring stuff up of Christian thing to a church if we're being serious. They might find it very funny, you know? They might find it incredibly funny. You never know. Like never ever? Like forever? Forever ever? Forever ever ever? Forever never means better when you're gone. Anyway, I thought it was such a weird thing. Maybe you should become a comedian, so true, Kick. And this could be your only joke. Oh my god, you're right. I'd be a star! Maybe you should keep doing his day job. Ah! Come on! Oh man. It's there was this really good never mind, I don't know if I can tell that joke. It was a Robin Williams bit, but I feel like I shouldn't tell it. I would want TikTok to give a hearty chuckle before scrolling. Honestly, that would make a really good TikTok sketch, I'm not gonna lie. That would make for a really good sketch of like, you know, oh, what? I thought this was like, so everybody turns to the person like, what? I've only ever been to one. Like that's a good bit, man. That's a good sketch. Like the what? I've only ever been to one of these. Come on, Jesus. Oh, and that's where it cuts. Dan, you can't just bring. Hey, what am I gonna do? Oh my god. Come on, Seth. You can't just come into anybody's old birthday party and bring them frankincense and myrrh. It was not any old birthday party. That's what you did for Jewish birthday party. What would make you think that? I don't know. Everyone I've ever been to has been like that. How many have you been to? Just the one, really. Wait, no, there is a bed over here. I don't have to run all the way back. I'm gonna go gather up some copper, I think, as well, because the roof, I think I want to do is copper. I think I want to do a copper roof. I don't know if I want to wax it or not, but yeah. Okay, if it was a TikTok sketch, I would enjoy that a lot more than a comedy show, to be honest. This is pretty good. Yeah, see, I think that would be a pretty good TikTok sketch. I have ideas for TikTok sketches all the time. I just can't do them. I can't do them. I'm in Minecraft. What am I meant to do? Throw down some creeper powder and some nether wart and a gold ingot and be like, what? What? I thought that's what you were meant to do. Only ever been to one. Speaking of, I always maintain the people who have ever, on a serious matter, if you're such a buzzkill, oh my god. The people I've ever seen who, like it was on Vine, but then it comes up again now on TikTok a lot as well. If they're like, Judas, no, because it's like, I brought you murder, Judas, no. Oh wait, no, sorry, not that joke. That joke is original to Vine. Sorry, the one I was gonna say is the like, did I do it, Jesus? Did I do it, Jesus? The thing to like Judas or whatever, like that joke, that is a Robin Williams bit, but I always see people do it on TikTok as their own. I'm like, oh man. But you know, that's kind of just the day and age it is. Like comedy's this weird thing where on the one hand, I think like there's some leeway to like you reusing a joke, cause like, you know, you're reusing a joke, but then it depends on if you're trying to be like a comedian, or if you're just telling a joke to your friends. You know what I mean? Could do a cool ombre effect. Barely oxidized the bottom, progressively more goes up. Oh, it's kind of sick. Well, see, I think it should all be green though. I guess by the end, because it would be next to the. It's next to the sea air. There's no way that doesn't turn all green, right? Like, and I feel like a full green or at least tinted green will be like a better vibe against the brick, you know what I mean? Ah! Why? But most green towards the sea. No, I refuse. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make it blue. I'm gonna make it blue now. Easy elo. Easy life. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, now you just seem sad, and that's not fun. There's not poggers in the slightest. Why? Oh, also, yo, speaking of poggers, I saw the latest copy. I didn't get to read it yet, but I saw the latest copy of the Tribune. I saw the latest copy of the newspaper. It looks sick, dude. I'm excited to read it. I plan to read it after stream. I'm excited. I saw it. I was like, hey, yo. But then also I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it really is nearly the end of my, like, it felt like you would just put the other one out. So I was like, huh? Is this a re-release? I did not realize that it was like as close to the end of March as it truly is. I was like, oh, I see. And not starting to do math. Same. Me neither. I simply just am not. It goes by so fast. It really does, man. It really does. I'm just out and I'm like, oh, wait, what? It's a new day. It's a new year. I thought it was June of 2022. I actually did think, like, for up until like January, it really did still feel like it was summer 2022. I don't know why. Like, summer, like, it was a blink of an eye between summer of 2022 and like December of 2022 for me. It felt like a true and honest, just like, boom, gone. I was like, oh wow, Jesus. I'm thinking kind of barn roof. You know what I mean? Do I have scaffolding with me? Okay, good. Speaking of end of the month, there's only a few days left of the current sub goal, but should that not be met, we're probably gonna change it up. And I've been giving some thought to what I might do for the next sub goal. Some interesting little thought on where we might go with the next sub goal. I thought some pretty pog. Oh my God, some pretty pog new pretty pog new options. End of the month export. Smile. Oh my good gracious. Oh my good gracious. Why? Why? In what world did I want this to go up? No! No! It's fine. It's fine. That works too. That works fine by me. You're good at this. Me. Yep, you're good at this. Yeah, I know. Hey, I'd like to see you be alive nearly 2 years into a hardcore world, pal. Yeesh. I've not died. That's the main goal, okay? Because I have an idea started. Oh. Throw these bones out. Don't even need those bones. What's the new idea? What's the new idea? What are you gunning for with the new Lee side map idea? Only bad things. Only bad things, I'm sure. Oh wait, no, I didn't want that. Nah, there we go. Needs to be semi-tiered, I think. Just like that. I might change these into slabs, I don't know. Perhaps a discussion with soup that spans like, oh, Pyogers. I mean, that's kind of sick. Not gonna lie, that kind of slaps. Just like as an idea, it is kind of a sick little idea. In the best of ways. In the best of ways. Perfect. Oh man, I should actually ask, because like I have my ideas for sub goals, but is there anything specific I should ask going into this year and stuff like that, as we leave the winter into this spring period, that you guys actually particularly think you want to see? Because if so, I'm more than all ears. Because I like being able to do things that I know that people are gonna like want to watch and stuff like that. I think as of late, I've decided I kind of want to maybe start focusing a bit more on shorts, if that makes sense, for a whole host of reasons. But I mean, not the least of which is I think, you know, TikTok might just get banned. But but also I don't know, like TikTok weirdly has felt just very what's the word I'm looking for? Blasé for the most part. I feel like it's like I feel like there's something about TikTok that's lost elements of its luster for some reason, like some parts, which I know is probably not good for me. I really slowed down. I used to do daily, then I did 3 times a week, and then I really like slowed down for like other reasons, which was probably stupid of me, but oh well. I knew it was not good for in terms of like bringing more new people in, but you know, it just felt right at the time. Maybe it was a bad move, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I really do want to grow and add more to what the channel offers and stuff like that. Which, speaking of, I do hope to be able to get another episode of the Star Wars Let's Play out this Wednesday. And then beyond that, I'm thinking of probably doing a little new direction with some Minecraft material. No. My game style probably ain't yours, but I'm a big fan of Valve games. Aopog. Not that Stanley is a Valve game, but no, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I've had quite a few stuff. Kind of, I feel like Stanley Parable suggested. Like, wait, do you mean kind of like the Edith thing? Like, because I played that because I felt it kind of was like it felt kind of not dissimilar to the whole Valve genre of like Stanley Parable, Portal kind of feel, you know what I mean? It was a little more different than that, but it felt in that vein. It felt like I don't even know what the word for it is. I guess thematic storytelling indie game would be the proper word for it, I assume, but like, I don't know. I missed my first message. I mean, we've done Portal, Stanley. I will vouch for Half-Life. Anything like your genre, but it what comes to mind for me? No game, probably. So was it so I guess I just misunderstood. You meant like, oh, there's nothing particular. So many game ideas: Blood Disco, Video, Parliament of Knives, Grizz, Werewolf, Heart of the Forest. Why do so many of these sound scary? Why do these sound so scary? Oh my good gracious! Oh my good gracious! Alright, I'm gonna hopefully be able to finish this. Then I think first, I need to go back and get some more. Ah! Brick. Beat Saber, you in full Invisible Man get up. My god. I did Half-Life was my recommended because I played blind on stream. Really loved it and got super into Valve games genre, but I know Half-Life ain't your type of game. Well, I don't think it said it's not my type of game in that way. I think for me, Half-Life, I think just I'll probably want to look at some like mods or whatever to like add to it, not in terms of content, but in terms of like runability, you know what I mean? Develop a story. Interesting. And give. All right, and then break. Don't buy Half-Life. So what's Half-Life source? There are, there'd be quite a few sub-goals. Oh my god. Oh, I thought there was only 2. What do you mean? Wait, are there more than 2 Half-Life games? I thought there was genuinely only like 2. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh wait, I need to go get food. I need to go get food real quick. Except for Blood Disco, you can play all 2 to 4 hours. Oh wait, Blood Disco Elysium, or Disco Elysium is maybe what I'm thinking of. That's a game that I feel like I've heard of the game Disco Elysium a lot as of late. I've heard good things. Is Disco Elysium the one you're talking about, or is that something entirely different? Yes? Okay. Cause yeah, I've heard good things. The complete geopolitical effects of corn YouTube. Oh my god. No. No. I refuse. What? Oh my good gracious, come here, please. I need steak. I know you have the skills to do it. Oh my god. Just because I have the skills to do something doesn't mean I should do it. The entire geopolitical. Oh my god. It's so excessive. It's so excessive. The others aren't scary visually. Oh, just mentally. Awesome. Amazing. Stupendous. Everyone's so creative. No. Be the next History of Japan guy. Oh my god. My man does like 1 or 2 videos. You know what? I have a video idea or 2 that I've been thinking of doing, but I don't know. They'd be difficult to achieve. I kind of want to do it though. I kind of want to try it. Dead Space? No. No. Horror games are not on the table easily. They're far down the table. They're far and away down the table. Cause yeah, I mean the current sub goal is for a sub games day where we do a variety of different games and the like. Cause you know I thought it'd be cool to be able to like do games that people who are subs would be able to play. So it'd be like, yeah, you get to join in on things like like if we did like Among Us, or if we did Hypixel games, or if we did something similar, because I thought that'd be neat. I thought that'd be a neat little thing to do. Books in which your hero basically. Oh, interesting. Wait, that actually sounds kind of sick then. There's Half-Life 1, an official not by Valve side game. Blue shifts the opposing ended cave that's for PS2 multiplayer torrenting and awkward modding. There's an official game, Half-Life 2 episode 1, episode 2, and obviously episode 3 never came out. The episodes are continuations of story of Half-Life 2. Also there's Half-Life Alyx in the VR game, which I have not yet finished. There are also Black Mesa, fan remake of Half-Life 1, which is a lot of people love, which changes the feel of some things. Oh. We consider it an emphasis. I swear I just occasionally I don't know how I gloss over messages, but I do. There's something like I glance and miss. I'm sorry. I think I also do want to do that Tech It series that we talked about forever ago, but I don't know. I think for that I would want to do it in a way that's interesting. I've been just trying to find like an angle for that that's not just like, oh, I play Tech It. There's something about like Tech It that's interesting to me, but I feel there's more to that. I feel like it doesn't have to be Tech It. On some level I've considered just doing mod reviews, but that just seems like, you know, I don't know how intriguing that actually is. Like I don't know how interesting that is to partake in watching, you know what I mean? I fell. All right, let me grab this and then do that and then do. Well, all right, fair enough. And like so, like that. And like so, and like that. Easy, Elo, easy life. I do like where this where this build's kind of going with this. I think it's gonna be an interesting little like piece to the edge of the map over here by the docks and stuff like that. I think it'll be cool. Get Half-Life experience. You would play Half-Life 1, 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, and the other games are for hyperfixating like me. Oh my god. You know, hyperfixation is just part of the natural evolution of time, you know? Everybody needs to hyperfixate occasionally. It's you know, it's only logical. It's only logical that we hyperfixate on things. At least in my opinion, it is. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I'm gonna go one out for that. Wait, that. Okay, so. Oh my god, I go down and snooze. Alright, I'm still. I realized I do that too much, dude. No, you're fine, man. That's all. Yeah, exactly. We take turns info dumping. It's an info. It's an info dump. We just take lots of different trucks come in, and those trucks come in, be like, hey, here's today's trash, but not trash in a negative way. Just, you know. It's the vibe. It's the general vibe of this here Twitch channel. So, and like that. Perfect, like that. And bada bing. Wait for it. Bada boom. Oh, but how did I do this on that side? Did I go one up and then two up? Or how did I went one, two. I fell. I'm a language nerd, but wait, I'm sorry, 1 second. I know French, English, Spanish, studying Greek, Latin, and have chosen a number of old languages that hesitate between Sumerian and Mesopotamian. Maybe soon. Oh my god. Types of conversation. So no idea what he's on about. Yeah, totally. I'm a language nerd, but thanks for trying to reassure me, Pink. Oh my goodness. I sent my final Fallout comic to the Fallout server. I'm in, and they're like, nice. And then I said a huge ramble about the background and secrets in it, and they're actually realized, wow, I talked so much about this thing. I don't think that's obnoxious, dude. I don't think there's anything obnoxious about that. I mean, like, think of it this way. I could have just, you know, been like, yeah, so Henry Selick, he made Nightmare Before Christmas, not Tim Burton. Instead, I said, no, you're gonna learn today. I just decided, you know what? Nah, this is gonna be a whole video essay. And you know what? It worked out. I believe that you know, there's nothing wrong with expanding on a topic. I think it's perfectly reasonable to expand on topics that you find interesting enough to expand on. Don't let people make you feel bad, even if they just go like, oh, okay, cool, dude. Like, even if that's their only reaction, don't let that like cloud your takeaway from it, dude. If you enjoyed what you were talking about, and you got to further discuss something that you're passionate about, that's all that's really important, at least in my mind. I don't really care what most people think about what, like, you know, I don't really care what most people think when it comes to what I do or don't find interesting. Maybe I should care more. To some people, they feel like I don't care enough, and that's fine. I think it's fine to not put all your emphasis on caring, like that other people took away what you get out of what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I don't know if that made any sense. I'll be real. I said it and then I realized I don't know if I'm even making sense with what I'm talking about, but. Like, in my takeaway is just, you know, well, sometimes you only get a thumbs up reaction, or sometimes you only get like a laughing, crying emoji or whatever kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think the thing that's been most important to me to try to learn is that you can't attach the enjoyment or not enjoyment. What's the word? The vindication, maybe? No, justification, not quite. That's not the word I'm exactly looking for. But you can't gratification. I don't know. You can't attach your sense of worth of the value of what you're saying to the inherent reaction. Like, for instance, that video I put out, I don't ever really expect it to find a massive audience. Not in any like real scale thing, but I imagine this time, say next year, there'll probably have been like a couple thousand. Like, I mean, I already know like 6,000 people have had, like, there's been 6,000 impressions on that video. There's absolutely not 6,000 views of that video. There's about 200 and something, 250, 290, something like that. And sometimes what I'm passionate about isn't what people are like really interested. Yo, Waffle Dude, what's up, man? Sometimes what you talk about isn't what people are really interested in. Like, for instance, I care a lot more about that video. I put a lot more work into that video, and care and opinion and stuff like that. And yet the very next, like 3 days later, I posted like just a very random like short on YouTube. That short did literally quadruple. Like, that short got 1,500 views in a day, and just like was just way like, and gained me like subscribers. I lost subscribers based on that video, on that whatchamacallit, which is not a problem. I'm not saying this in complete. I'm just in an open, frank discussion on it kind of thing. Yeah, I lost subscribers for posting that longer video. But you know, I just don't think I can attach value to that in the same way that I can't. I try not to take things personal. It's not the right word for it, but like, you know, in the same way that I didn't expect most people, arguably, in the Discord to ever watch it or really think much of it, and that's fine. I think it was fun just to be able to make it and talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, that for me, that's the important thing, is that I enjoyed getting to explore a topic that I wanted to talk about, and I got to talk about it, and it's there. And now I said what I wanted to say. And again, that doesn't mean it did badly. Technically, it was like a 1 out of 10 video. Like, so far as YouTube was concerned, when it was put out, like, yeah, that was out of the 10 videos preceding it, that had been one of the biggest ones I'd put out. Which is true, because most videos I do don't like do too well on YouTube, and that's fine. YouTube's whatever. But yeah, I guess ultimately what I'm kind of getting at is that like, I love to, there's so many millions of little things that I would love to rant about and talk about and get really deep into the nitty gritty of, like, things that I find absolutely fascinating, that are never gonna necessarily, I'm not saying this is the case, I'm just saying, but maybe necessarily will never get an audience per se, because, you know, it's just me rambling on and on about something. But I think the value of it comes from, you know, getting to say your piece, getting to set that out and explain yourself to yourself, if that makes sense. Like, most of the things that I do with that are me putting out what I want to say for myself. I don't ever really expect, or have any belief, I should say, that YouTube or Twitch or anything like that will ever truly become something big and grand. I'd love for that to happen. I'd love for it to be able to become like more of a job. It's something that I find creatively liberating and fun and freeing. But you know, I think it's more important for me to try to maintain why I started it. You know what I mean? But yeah. I don't really know what I was just saying. You know what? I don't know. I'm also just a random dude on the internet. So, what do I know? No, I need more cut stone. Anyway, how you doing, Wafflix? Sorry, you came in while I was in the midst of chastising MJ for doubting their creative, I don't know, license. I shouldn't even say that. I don't even know if you were doubting. I just, but yeah. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Hope life's been treating you well. Hope you've been keeping well and keeping good and healthy and the like. And change those over. Ba-bing, ba-boom. Capital, I don't know. I presume the capitalism thing was in response to Caleb. I didn't realize that you were listening to what I was saying. I thought you were chatting with Caleb. I need those stairs. I need the stairs. Capitalism has fed us awful narrative of constant productivity and the need for external value, but the truth of the matter is that striving for the unsatiable is that is unsustainable and damaging. Enjoying things for the sake of doing them is vital for your well-being, I think. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think it's complicated. On the one hand, like, yeah, I can't stand here before you, which is why I'm sitting. I can't stand here before you and say that, you know, like, elements of that are just never gonna, like, suck. Like, don't get me wrong. Sure, in my grandest of grand dreams, like, yeah, sure, that Nightmare Before Christmas video would have gotten, like, I don't know, 1,000 or like 5,000 views. That would have been wild. It would have been bonkers. But I also just kind of knew that, like, wouldn't happen, if that makes sense. Like I had no reason to believe, not because I don't believe it. I think I'll put it this way. I took value out of the fact that there are people who have never seen anything I've done before, who have no idea who I am for very obvious reasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's people who have absolutely no background on me from like TikTok or anything like that. Never been to a Twitch channel. Saw the video and then left a comment. Like, of all things, like the biggest thing on YouTube, like if somebody leaves a comment, that's just huge to me. The fact that somebody decided to take the time out of their day to like actually write something to me. And it'll be like, it was a, yo, Snuffle, wait, what? Snuffleupagus? Like the Snuffleupagus from Sesame Street, but uppercus? Excuse me? But no, it was like that somebody, like what I remember what they wrote was you know, that like, oh man, this is really well put together. Like, I've never heard of you or your stuff, but this was like a really well thought out, well executed video, and like they just like told me in terms of like the video's quality itself, explain what they thought, and I was like, man, that's a lot of Napoleons. Too many, if you ask me, or not quite enough. Maybe just not quite enough. 7 to be specific. Yeah, just thank God there's no Napoleon the Eighth. That would, we'd be overclocking it at that point. Oh my God. And no! What are we talking about? Okay, we're just talking about anything and everything under the sun. Specifically, we're talking about how Napoleon VII is just too many Napoleons. There needs to be less. If you're at 7, something's wrong. Something is the matter. Yeah, it turns out there's 7. Well, I mean, technically there's 8, but technically there's 8 in real life. But yeah. I need to get some like torches up there probably. I'll turn those both into. Though the 7th in real life was disinherited, he's still alive. Him and the 8th, the 7th and 8th are both still alive in real day-to-day life, which is wacky. But you know, who needs them? Unless I guess you're a Bonapartist, and then you probably would be pretty amped about them. You'd probably be like, yeah, let's go. Love me an imperial restoration period. Yeah, Meiji restoration, my beloved. That was a period of restoration in Japan. That restored the emperor to being an actual, like, well, emperor and not just a figure. I mean, because technically speaking, the imperial family of Japan is the oldest. Like, there's no other royal family like it, because it traces its lineage, or not just does it trace its lineage back to prehistory, but it's also unbroken. It's one of the only ever unbroken lines of that to have existed, which is insane. It's insane. And that's just because purely, like, it was just happened to be when shogunates came about, they just decided to, like, keep them. If they hadn't, then that would have been a different story. But because they decided to keep them, it's just been a purely unbroken line since before recorded history existed for that nation. Shogun? I barely know her. Doesn't even work. That doesn't even work. Are you knowledgeable on the Napoleons? Made you on Japan? Oh, sorry, I missed the question about the Napoleons. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm currently, like, I'm doing university for, like, history and poli-sci and stuff like that. But then, specifically, my specialty is in East Asian history, so, like, particularly Japan, and but more so is in French during the Revolutionary and Napoleonic period. More the Revolutionary in particular. But yeah, those are my key areas of study. That's why not, you know? Yeah, I kind of like where that's going. I'm going to, oh, that's so base. Let's go. Oh my god. But yeah, I know too much about it. I mean, Napoleon VI, I can tell you about. He was effectively a war hero. Prior to France getting overtaken by the oncoming German onslaught in World War II, he was like, hey, let me be a general. I could rally the troops. But at the time, the government in power of the then Third Republic was like, no. You're just gonna do what all the other Napoleons do. You're gonna use his power, and then you're gonna take over once the dust settles. And he's like, no, I would never. That's crazy talk. You're crazy. And like literally every other Napoleon who's been given the generalship did that. It's like, no, come on. So anyway, they rejected him. But then he goes on to become a freedom fighter, and he's a freedom fighter through all of the Second World War, and then later has a kid named Napoleon VII, who is still alive, and he disinherited him in like 2000, I think, or something like that, because he became a hedge fund manager for Wall Street, and basically he felt that was a betrayal of the values of the Bonaparte line, because I don't know, in his opinion, in the opinion of Napoleon VI, that's dishonorable and harmful to the people, because Napoleon I was very anti-bank. He was very, very anti-bank. He was like, hey, the banks are evil, which, well, you know, I mean, fair enough. Like, I mean, he wasn't wrong, so it's not that he's a perfect guy. He's not. I'm just saying he wasn't wrong about that one. Holding a thought. Oh, hey, yo, dude, that's sick, man. That's quite the collector's item. did the stream bump? Did the stream bump? My man. His heater is his computer. Leave me alone! My God. I got my coin book out. I'm not off yet. Let's go. Well, oh, you missed my joke. I'd say what I had said was that, yeah, wouldn't it'd be funny if you said that as like, oh yeah, I have a coin from that era, but you didn't mean like a coin minted for the Napoleonic Empire. You didn't mean like that. No, you just meant, no, it's like a Luxembourg coin. It's just from that time period. Like, oh yeah, no, it's nothing to do with France. It's just, you know, it's from the it's from the like late 1800s. You know, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. It's from the eve of the Franco-Prussian War. Don't even worry about it. Nothing to do with them. I just thought it was neat. If the maintenance people are get into the apartment to fix the heater, they need it. Oh my God, you are a menace. Truly, dripstone lava generators are so slow. Yeah, they are. That's why you gotta do multiple at once. You can't possibly like hope that one will work out for you. It takes forever. I mean, it's technically less than 10 minutes, but still, or it should be. It should be less than 10 minutes. French for real, for real. Hey, yo, dude, that's sick, man. That's actually awesome. That's quite the collector's item. Are you into like archaeology in that kind of way? Or not that necessarily is an archaeological find, but like, are you into like collecting of items like that, or are you more just like that just happens to be something you have? Fill 1,000 blocks. Why would you need to fill 1,000 blocks with lava? In what world? Why would you need to do 10,000 blocks? That's 10 times worse. Literally. Create baby. Why? Who needs one of them? I mean, this economy, you crazy? Yeesh. It's like I never set out to have hundreds of coins. I just ended up with, I mean, ain't that just the way? Ain't that just the way of things, you know? You never intend. You never intend for it to happen, and then, woof, va-va-voom. Suddenly you're already engaged in sending. At first you're like, we're a better monetary system, and then suddenly you're figuring out the math to put somebody on the moon. You know, it's just the way it be. Sometimes, you know, you go like, hey, isn't it crazy? We just invented airplanes, and 20 or 40 years later, you're like, what if we went to the moon? It's so nuts to me. The 20th century is such a wild time, man. It's straight up like. Think of 1901 versus 1999. Like, that's insane. Needed a little sippy pool of water. Are you not? I swear to God, Oh, it needs coal. It needs more coal. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. Justinian, hey, yo! Detail about that one. Man, that sounds sick. The only collector's coin I ever had was, I have one from, I think, the era of Diocletian, but it was, or sorry, not Diocletian, Trajan, I mean, sorry. Era of like, during Trajan's reign, but, it was found off the coast, in the water of, near India, because there was a trade route there, but a ship sank, like, I don't know, 2,000 years ago. So it was just like, yeah, well, you know, it's just the way it be. So it's all morphed and weird, but yeah. It's like a little, like it's all faded and morphed and weird because it's got like erosion from being under the water for so long. But it's a really cool thing. I like it. Community that I've stumbled across? Yeah, I mean, unofficially speaking, yeah, kinda. I end up just sort of inevitably talking about history. At some point, inevitably, every stream, I feel history comes up to some degree or another. We just kind of, it's just something we chat about. Well, if you're interested, like it's talked about a lot in the Discord as well. We occasionally like just bring up different topics and stuff like that. There's a lot of niche interests in terms of like the community writ large. Because I don't know, I like stuff like that. I think it's interesting to talk about. I think it's interesting to learn about and stuff like that. Jordan already? Let's go! Because yeah, I don't know. There's something about because I guess the reason it attracted that was because the original like idea of this is my hardcore world. I guess I should introduce it. So this is my hardcore Minecraft world. I've been playing about it for a year and a half now. But the thing is, I'm the reason there's not been a lot, like I'm still in Diamond and stuff like that, is because I've been playing it, or yeah, as the thing says, I've been playing it as though I don't know anything about Minecraft. I mean, I do, but like, it's more, I wanted to see how far I could get in a sort of lore-based play where you only learn as you go. So, you know, I could only go to the nether after finding so many ruined nether portals to be able to be like, oh, this fits together that way, and there's always a piece of flint and steel next to it. I wonder what happens if you try those together. Or, you know, you can't cure a zombie villager until you find a igloo that tells you how the cure works. Which igloos have laboratories in them to tell you that. So, I thought that'd be a neat way to play. Ended up attracting just a bunch of nerds. Just a bunch of history nerds. It's kind of insane. But like, you know, I love them. They're the best. I mean, they're like literally the worst, but they're the best. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. You guys are great. So yeah, that's kind of the idea with this. And that's why it has the name The Ageless Empire. I thought that was a sick name. I thought that name went hard. I was like, that is absolutely banging. I love that. And, you know, one thing led to another, and suddenly here we are. How'd you get the name? You know how I got the name Napoleon. Well, I guess, yeah, to put it into perspective, the reason I'm called Napoleon VII is because one day I decided, well, you know what? What happened was I was in a conversation with a friend of mine. We were we were discussing like our dreams that had happened, like literal, like you know, you go to sleep, you have dreams. So we were discussing that, and we were like, well, what's the like literal definition for that? And when at the time when I went to Google just the word dream to get the definition from Google, the first thing that popped up was not the word or the definition for the word dream. No, it was for this Minecraft YouTuber, and I was like, what? I had never heard of him at the time, and I was like, that's insane. And then I thought, you know what? That's kind of funny. That'd be hilarious to do, to be like, to surpass something in a Google search result. And I was like, you know what would be funny? Because there's an actual Napoleon VII. What if but he doesn't have like that much written about him. What if I made this so that someday, maybe if I ever did get popular in that capacity, I would then supplant him in the Google search results, because I think it would just be a funny bit to know that somewheres there's gonna be like some sort of butler or aide or whatever who has to go tell this man like, sir, yeah, there's this guy who plays Minecraft, and he's kind of become more popular under your own name. Oh my god, than the original Napoleon. Yeah, you know, that one felt a little more out of reach, not gonna lie. That one felt a little more out of reach. A little less doable. Though technically, that is still possible with this name, in the sense that if I ever became truly popular in that way, like to the same level as I think, which is, again, never genuinely gonna happen. But hypothetically, if let's say you had the 30 million subscribers or whatever, and the constant thousands and thousands of viewers, and trending wise on Google, my result would come up before the probably the first Napoleon. If you just put Napoleon into Google, it'd be Napoleon the 7th question mark is what it would ask, which I think is just hilarious. I think that's amazing. Oh man, there's just something about it, man. I don't know what, there's just something about it that's so funny to me. And you know, it's also an easy read for most people to be like, oh, this guy probably likes history, because who in their right mind uses the name Napoleon? Like, it'd just be such a... But yeah, I mean, for the most part, most people don't call me Napoleon, they call me Nap. Which, you know, makes sense, because it's a fair shortening of the name. Which does upset me. I mean, yeah, no, fair. He absolutely is, in terms of, like, search results and stuff like that, yeah. Whether or not it'll stay as consistent, I mean, I would argue unlikely. I would say it's probably unlikely that in 5 years' time, that search result will be above the search result for base Napoleon, but you never know. You're gonna wax all of that? No. It's by the sea, so the salt water should make it turn green. Also contrasts with, yeah, exactly. It contrasts with the brick. I didn't want it to be a perfect 1-for-1. I might only let it get to, I might try to wax it though at the at that, because I don't terribly mind that look either. Even greater even than Caesar. So true, King. My god. Hey, at a time, I think I might have believed you. There was a hot minute. I personally think, which, never mind, you know, I would say, like, it's fair enough to say that there was a time where that man was, like, on track to becoming a household name for a decade kind of thing. Say it. No, well, because I don't want to, all I'm saying is, and again, not that I'm saying that I am obviously in any way in the same range, or in the same, you know what I mean? My point is just, yeah, I think there was a fumbling on the creative side of a number of different creators involved with the project that was the former Dream SMP and stuff like that. And they could have done or made a lot more than they did. I don't mean monetarily, I mean, like, it could have become, I genuinely think, because there was a time actually where like YouTube, what a lot of people don't realize, because this was a pretty hush-hush thing, but the animators behind it actually came out about it relatively recently, I think. Yeah, there was a time there was going to be that YouTube had commissioned 2 seasons of an animated TV series to be on YouTube Premium for the Dream SMP. Like, they hired a studio. Like it had a Dark Horse comic book. Like, Dark Horse started publishing comics. Like, that's insane. Like that, like, yeah, no, people don't realize, like, there, I guarantee there was toy brands, there was a lot of different things. There's just, the difficulty is, like, you have lots of different, the cast was just really big and wanted different things, and by the time that those offers were coming around, things started opening up and people started streaming less, you know what I mean? Yo, Mar, what's up, dude? Like, the quote-unquote golden age of Twitch of 2020 into 2021, that was that got fumbled, like, and that's the thing is, and I've said this before, from a writing perspective, they fumbled it at a certain point where the stakes became impossible to surmount. There was ways they wrote themselves into a corner, and it became a problem. So that's what caused, like, that along with other things caused its downfall. It's genuinely, I imagine they will be taught in like that, like it was such a phenomenon that I think it'll be taught. And some of those elements for why it won't ever occur again is because well, obviously members of it have passed away, and beyond that, I don't personally imagine many of the original creators are that interested in that idea. Probably right, to be fair. Well, yeah, I'd like in terms of what it could have been though. Like they could have had toy line. Like it could have, if there was a true vision. Because my understanding, one of them, I don't know if it was. I think it is now member of Lovejoy, Wilbur Soot. He was, I believe, the main quote-unquote writer for a long time. But yeah, it got to that phase where, in my opinion, it got very close to be like it was on the precipice of two things. It could have been a very fun time on Twitch, you know what I mean? But then it lost its comedy, to some extent, I think. It lost its. Is this just not? Okay, there we go. It lost its comedy and became a little too serious. But not so serious, but not serious enough, and also, or not serious enough with a well-written story to go along with it. You know what I mean? And then it wasn't as much. And yeah, and that's the thing is when it became not one person's vision and like 5 different internal like stories occurred. At a time, like from what I read of that storyline, I saw what I thought was I thought they were geniuses for a hot minute. I really did. Like writing geniuses. Like I was like, my God. It felt very disjointed, but I could see how it was going to line up in my mind. Like in the mind's eye, I saw perfectly how this all lines up and then goes into a season 2, like a proper season 2 restart in 2021. And it just didn't. I was very surprised. I think burnout occurred for some individuals. I think other individuals got far more interested, like major players on it kind of thing became far more interested in their own personal careers off of streaming, which is fine. But like again, none of this is bad what happened. I'm just saying it's a very interesting collapse of what very easily could have been an empire. Like they got to like proper animating phases too with this studio. Like that studio was animating for a while. Arguably, like for all I know, it could have been a thing of rights. Like it could have been a thing of like trying to sign that many people, trying to get that many people to sign away the rights and licensing to their character to YouTube to make these series. You know what I mean? I don't know. I imagine that very well could have been a key issue. There's so many individuals, creators who, while in terms of a story wise, yes, some were obviously not leads. I think that's just something that has to be accepted if you're looking at it from a thematic story making standpoint. Some of those individuals, streamers, were not lead characters in the grand theme of that story. They could be, but they were much. But what was interesting and something it provided, because they all thought they were or acted as if they were kind of thing. It did create this version of a story where each character feels very fleshed out and real, because each character basically has a writer dedicated to that character in a way that's not trying to make a congruent story. You know what I mean? Would be oh yeah, I think, well, because that's the thing is like, you know, like what share people do or don't get. Is that signing away your name, like your YouTube's name as well? Like all the little things. They really have the perfect real life story. Well, that's the thing is like, and again, yeah, this is all speculation on my part, but I would argue that yeah, they at that moment, because each character felt so fleshed out in their own version of themselves. I just think two key things that brought it down were, one, too many cooks got into the kitchen of what was quote unquote the main story. Too many main stories randomly started in a way that like works in an anime, so it could have worked still, and I saw that way through that. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing, and I thought it was genius. I was like, oh my God, that's insanely smart. Turns out not, which is not at this. It's just, yeah, turns out they didn't see it that way. And maybe that's just because people didn't agree, because certain people would have been backseated for that to have occurred. Don't want to known as Paul. Oh my god. They really have the perfect realism. Everyone is the main character of their own story, regardless of the overture. And that's the thing is, yeah, like that's good writing from that standpoint. Everybody should see themselves as their own main character in writing, but it's a mixture of that. I think a mixture of personalities. Like it was the perfect storm to make it, and then the perfect storm to end it. You know what I mean? Oh, and also it got a little too dark. I think it tried to actually a critique that I have for the MCU as well is what I think the exact same thing happened to their server's story as the MCU. I think it tried to deal with too many mature themes that they didn't want to deal with the consequence of what those themes mean. They weren't able to, or maybe it's the fact that another weird thing, which is not on the creators, is their audience was incapable of understanding those themes because it was so different from TV that I truly think a number of individuals online attached whatever occurred in that story to the creators themselves. My grapes. Too many players, too many paws, too dark. Well, that's the thing. Well, and that's the thing is like once you start introducing the idea of body mutilation, like torture, prison, like war crimes. I'm like, war crimes? What are you're playing Minecraft? You know, it got to a point where I was like, and that's the thing is I could see the way through it, and if they to fix it. In my take, from my knowledge, which is, I will say, deeply gapped, so somebody could come along and say, Nap, you aren't considering X, Y, and Z, which, yeah, of course I'm not. I've not seen the whole thing. But I personally am so surprised. They had this thing with, it was an egg of alien or some sort of origin or whatever. They should have war crimes in the next major update. Let's go! Oh my god, it's called the Geneva update. Oh my god. Yeah, they had the egg. Yeah, I imagined. My guess is, I presumed their end goal, and what I thought was going to be genius was all of these individual stories. I thought they introduced this bigger bad to be the villain that would cause them to need to turn to the individual they locked up, who they saw having, I don't know, relatively, from my understanding, relative god-like powers was what he was meant to be considered, or something like that. Even though, I mean, they're all just Minecraft players. And I just really presumed that side plot was gonna just be the reason that they could undo. Yo, X-Frim, dude, what's up, man? I really presume, once you go dark, it's hard to go back to silver. Yeah, exactly. Because, and oh my god, once they start introducing like age and stuff like that, and oh my god, the cutoff for don't get me wrong, I understand there's a difference in actions of different groups, but my brother in Christ, 20 and 18 are not so far apart in developmental cycles that you could see criminal activity is truly different to the degree they did. I was like, whoa, bro, why are you so down one person's throat but not the other? Why are you so like ripping into great potential? Oh yeah, exactly. And parts of that are, and this is not blame, by the way, this next bit that I'm gonna say is not blame. Circumstances of life. Two things occurred to cause deep stalling in any capability of story. One was that, you know, so one was obviously health issues for individuals that caused stallings because that person was a linchpin to a section of storyline. Another was, yeah, COVID was ending and people were going outside, and individuals who were huge to it, for example, Tommy in it, which is not bad that this happened. Tommy was, focused on himself and good for him, and focused on, I think, doing more IRL content at that time, which just took him away from streaming. Like, at the end, yeah, that's just where that ends up. And there's nothing wrong with that. but it does mean that I think the loss of vision of an individual writer, along with other things and all these other things, created the perfect storm to cause its end. It got too dark. Too many people became unable to participate, or like scheduling too dark without meeting it, I guess is the thing. It got dark, but it really, for most of them, never met the darkness they were trying to achieve, if that makes sense. Much like the MCU. That was my comparison with the MCU. The MCU introduced this idea of effectively war crimes, Geneva Conventions, and all the other things of like, Captain America, you can't be going around doing X, Y, and Z, and we're setting up these accords, and 117 sovereign nations signed this thing to say you need to be reined in, etc., etc., etc. And then they acted as though there was a choice. Like, no, Captain America, you are that is in terms of governments you're ignoring at that point. That is equivalent in numerically to ignoring the same amount of governments that certain nations ignored in the 40s. Like, you know what? Like, they frame it as, oh yeah, of course, big bad US, which again, there is reason for commentary to be, and it's fair to make a commentary of like, yeah, government overreach, USA overreach, could have been X, Y, and Z. Like, bro, you're not handling it that way, because the USA, big player for sure, has a lot of power and influence, is not the UN. Many nations in the UN disagree. In fact, inaction by the UN is a major thing, but it wasn't that it was inaction. It was framed in like, oh, well, they're gonna make us do this and make us do that and make it If 117 nations tell you that they want to do that, guess what? That's representing most of the planet. I'm sorry. You're a bad guy. You're the bad guy. I don't care if you can do better. I don't care if you could be the hero to save the world. Ultimately, you're not God. Like, you don't get to decide that your hands are better. You don't. That's so myopic. That's idiotic. I've decided my hands are better. No. You gotta work with people, collaborate. That's how that works, man. People will die. Yeah, I'm like, that sucks. It really does. People were also dying with you doing it, though. At least this way, it could be like, if people did still die from inaction by the Avengers, it would have been okay. At least it wasn't rogue individuals taking the law into their own hand. It was, yeah. At the end of the day, cost benefit, sucks to suck, but yeah. Don't raise the stakes only to walk around. Exactly. You can't raise it to the degree they did, to the adult content that they did, to then be like, but now we're gonna goof and gaff. Sometimes you gotta commit a war crime when your heart tells you to. Oh my god. Too many branches without follow-up, going back to the later plot too fast. Yeah, that I think perfectly summarizes it. But yeah, a lot of people, I feel, don't realize how, for lack of a better word, how much of a bag was effectively fumbled. But yeah, that's the other thing though. The individuals involved, I think it also became a pure issue of like their followers seem to lose the ability to separate themselves from what they made, and would act as if what was being done in this make-believe thing was as real as could be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I ever expect any of you to ever meet me at, I don't know, TwitchCon, and then someday in like a gajillion years and be like, I can't believe you did that to Soup! You're a bad person! Like, maybe at least I'd sue. Okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. Of course we would do that. Okay, well, you know what? Fair enough. But you guys would do you guys would do it with like lighthearted nature. You wouldn't do it in the way of like, yeah, I truly do believe this. Anyway, it's just so many different things. It's such an interesting case study, though. in terms of like what they had available. I mean, it's the same way that like I think, no, I don't want to say that. I have opinions about certain creators involved and how much they did or did not wish to do. And I think certain things got so big that it became like the requirement of input, like what needed to be done or put in terms of work, became more than certain people were willing to do. I think certain people were disinterested in going that far, and so, yeah. Actually, though, I do believe the studio that was contracted to do it, so far as I last ever heard, which was months ago, so I don't know if it's still happening, decided to push ahead on their own because they got, like, that's how far along they got. They got a year, like, because they were commissioned to do this for YouTube as a YouTube original, which is like the same thing, like as if you see the billboards in for like, I don't know, Joey Graceffa's like Clue Night or whatever kind of thing, or like Markiplier's Space in Space kind of thing, and all those other things. Like, it's one of those. They got so far because it had been a year and a half in the process before they got scrapped, and so like they were like, we got so far, we're just gonna keep doing it on our own dollar. The fun became a job. Stop people. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's an element. I don't even know if it's just that though. Like I think just in terms of like yeah, some of them got involved with it to be the silly thing. They enjoyed it as the silly escape from the literal pandemic that was going on. Like it was never meant to be something serious. But it's the same way that like while I think there's an element to like, while I think a major element is to be credited to the various individuals who streamed it, I think ultimately the Dream SMP took off because of the fan artists. From what I can tell, that's where the real like magic kind of happened for them. But at the same time, that's not entirely true. That's not to say that they weren't popular beforehand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, the first ever stream done by George Not Found was to 2,000 people. His first stream was to 2,000 people. That's like early pre-2020. That was like top of Twitch time, like tier numbers, and now we're getting back to that where Twitch is getting back to more of its normal amount of people. We're like, yeah, having 1,000 to 2,000 viewers a year, that's like not just your full-time job. You're like, it's beyond full-time. Like you have a company and staff. Like it's an insane amount of people for that to be your first stream. Not that that takes anything away. He had the following from YouTube first. But there's other YouTube creators who don't have that translate as easy. So yeah. Make some banging stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it ultimately, and maybe something will eventually happen. I do think Dark Horse did actually publish the comic in the end. I can't remember. I think the comic did publish. It was about time travel. I was a little unclear on that part. Time travel for one of the individuals. I think it was Carl Jacobs, who's of Mr. Beast's group. Which is, again, like it's a wild the cross the different people who showed up. Like when you think about it in the context of like, oh yeah, and then there's like Mr. Beast's involvement in it, not like him himself, but like people from his group, which is just insane. Probably Carl's story, like yeah, so like that's what the comic series was. That's what the comic series was, and it was going to, and that's why I was surprised. That's why I had the belief that they must have had something bigger, because the comic series got announced, and it was described at a Comic-Con when it was before it came out as being what would become the linchpin to tie all of those storylines together. I don't know what happened to that idea, but that's how that comic was originally pitched to like. To people was the idea that like would be the idea that like, you know, AU stories for the years that make more sense. Yeah, it was like in the past of the world of that universe, and they seem to And I think that's where the idea of a god powerful dream came into being, because I think his character showed up in those occasionally, both as himself and then not as himself as well. Is this whole thing. I like that this bit started that I said dream would be remember. Oh my god. That's true. Oh man, I'm a wind-up toy, man. I just go. I should not be. There's lightning above me. I should not be on a metal roof. I should not be on a metal roof right now. I just realized it's a thunderstorm. Let me snooze past this. Oh my god. Well, the Ides of March is past, so no worries of that. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess it's easy. That one's an easy topic to get going on because like I tangentially know a decent amount, but not enough. Like I've never gotten fully into it. Not in like a negative. I personally disagree. Or I guess I should say don't understand the vitriol against it. I really don't. I do understand where some of its locations come from. I genuinely believe if it had been picked up a year prior, or if it had been picked up by a more predominantly or more vocally picked up, I should say, because I think its original statistics do skew more male than people realize. But I think in its early days, if it had a more vocal at the time, or in its later days, if it had a more vocal male audience or whatever, this is not good nor bad. I'm just saying, I do think it would not have gotten as much hatred and vitriol as it does online, because I genuinely think a lot of it comes from a place of misogyny. I really do. Some would say that's hyperbolic. I just think that's true. I think elements of why it's so disliked nowadays, yeah, it's a little more complicated, but is my understanding. But I think in that period of 2021 into 2022, and like all the people who like celebrate, I guess, like, yeah, let's go, nobody wants to hear it anymore, let's go. I think that does. I think there's an element of sexism that goes with that. But that's just my take, because it seems like that same kind of thing exists for any sort of show when like teenage girls get into it. That's just my take. Queer and a woman, yeah. Oh, it also had those missteps of it added creators that like instantly had to be gone or whatever. Like I remember that was another thing that occurred. It like had creators added, but then those creators were like very quickly found out to be like not good people, and so then they instantly got unadded or whatever. So those were hiccups that occurred. Anyway, it was like death by 1,000 cuts, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to dive into, as Caleb said. Like, yeah, it'd be an interesting case study. I'm sure in like 2 years time, or even maybe a year, actually, now that I think about it, you'll probably see like 1,000,001 videos of just like what happened to Jimmy, especially now that there isn't a it was I think I was watching Phil's stream and he said, because again, that's my mirror or my window into all of this typically, is through Philza, or it was Technoblade. I watched Technoblade. I didn't always understand what was going on when I was watching him, but because he would be on the Dream SMP at times, I was like, what? I'd be confused, but you know, like those are two individuals that I watched a lot. But yeah, I think it's to hear them too. Yeah, and so in that extent, I think it was just like, how do I phrase this? Oh, I do need more brick. I do. Or no, I need more stone brick. Do I have stone out here? I might need to cook some stone. Okay, then we'll go get some cobble. I think, yeah, there was the Death by 1,000 Cuts, but I think, yeah, the season 2 not happening, which I heard is apparently officially announced, is what's going to cause those videos to occur. What day is it? It is day 2,721. I've had it for, in real life, about a year and a half. Well, typically I only play on like Mondays and Fridays or whatever, but yeah. Yeah. Also, thank you. It's kind of been a little bit of work in progress because like what I do a lot of on this world is I off screen will build, which is dangerous because if I die off screen that will suck. But I build quote unquote lore builds because there is a bit of story. Like, and don't get me wrong, that is obviously semi-inspired by the idea of telling stories in Minecraft. From a number of creators, I would say personally, but you know, from what I saw with Phil's as in hardcore world. For me, I wanted to do it more as the style of like, you know, a Minecraft world building itself. 300 days behind my world. Woo! Looks to be a lot. Yeah, well, I mean, in the main city area is definitely like, in my opinion, a little less than like normal, or than what I would have otherwise done. But because yeah, there's that like outer wall and stuff like that. There's the main big park. There's the factory division, and then here's like kind of I'm building up a sort of a low street, and then up here will be higher streets because I like the idea of the city feeling tiered. I like the idea of a kind of like tiered city. I don't know why, I just thought that would make it kind of cool. Because eventually that road from the park's gonna come down here. That needs to become a build. And then this will become more of its own kind of like little shops and tinier areas and all these other things. Little places to go in and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean the lore builds, some are smaller, some are bigger. It depends. The biggest one I think I've ever done that's been shown is or that's ever been done. And not that there's anything bigger. But anyways, there's a video on my actual YouTube channel of that one getting made, which was an Ender Temple with giant skeletons and stuff like that. That's a ways off. I could show you, but it's a good ways away. There's a relatively close one that's just down here. Oh yeah, I'll go to. So like over there, that giant tree over there I built is called a soul tree, and below the soul tree. Oh right, there's also yes, that one's also fairly large, which was I've toyed with and never done pre-recorded before, but then right before Christmas, I did a big pre-recorded one. Because, you know, I felt like I have a fun little thing to do for chat. Did I go the wrong way? I totally did. No, that you're crazy, MJ. That doesn't sound like me. No, that was the right way. I just got lost. But yeah, so like that was an interesting kind of idea because I like the idea of with Minecraft of toying with the idea of you know, regeneration, like respawning as an idea and all these other things. Down here I built this cave. I actually don't know if it's open. No, it's not. Discovered this bad boy. Ba boom. This is one of the smallest, but one of the more interesting ones. Don't shoot me. Don't do that. Don't. That's so rude. That's so rude. It's you miss me. Don't ever kiss me. What? Yeah, so the idea for this one, I'm not gonna go into specifics because there's still stuff to learn, but yeah. This was one of the discovery areas. Right above this is the giant tree, the soul tree. And this was just kind of a cool, smaller one that I did for a little thing. But yeah. Eat your food. Oh yeah, I guess that's probably a good idea. 100 creepers land. Just vibe with Diamond more. No, actually, so yeah, the idea of this world, and one of the reasons why I also don't have an elytra, I haven't been to the end either. So my idea with this was I asked the question, I guess, originally before doing this world was, could you play Minecraft without having any pre-existing knowledge? I obviously do have pre-existing knowledge, but my goal with this world was to try to play it where I could only do things, use things, or build things as I learned about them. So I couldn't do redstone until I found a jungle temple, because jungle temples have redstone in them. Or I can't cure zombie villagers until I find an igloo basement that has the how to cure them in it. And I couldn't go to the nether until I found enough ruined nether portals and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I have enough for netherite. I mean, at this point, in a very meta way, I'm not quote unquote in the canon of the story. I myself, Nap, am trying to decide whether or not, because there's two ways to try to figure out how netherite works. One would be, go to a bastion and find a netherite ingot in one of those. That's a very rare generation. And then I would be like, oh, this kind of looks like the debris. Bingo, bango, boingo, you can make it now. Well, that works, but soon they're adding into bastions schematics that then tell you how to make netherite. So that's another way that could technically in canon work for this to become a netherite, to gain netherite. Technically, there's schematics coming into existence. I've actually, for those that don't realize, I've not found a bastion in this world. We've never found a bastion. We just haven't. We've just never been to a bastion. Very lore friendly, was scary. Well, and before I knew, that's the other thing. I don't know if I will go that route, because before I knew that was going to be something that existed, because we didn't know that was coming to 1.20. I kind of had another plan for how that would work, which I'm not going to go into any detail on. So, like, Anyway, but yeah, this is one of my favorite things I've ever built, is this park here. Oh, also up there I'm building a big castle, which has been the biggest pain in my butt, I swear to God. I need to go there anyway. I meant to get the cobble, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I like this one. I like the little encapsulated little nether region and stuff like that, but and oh, also, yeah, I can say another interesting thing about it. One of my current favorite things to exist in this whole hardcore world's existence, in terms of lore and stuff like that, is that there's a newspaper that Pink in chat actually makes for it in the Discord. If you actually go into the Ageless Empire section of the Discord, there's a newspaper that publishes once a month, and it's so freaking cool, man. My God, I will never not hype that up. I swear to Christ. That, yeah, don't get me wrong. Fan art's amazing. I love the fan art that comes from all this. Like, it's truly awesome and so cool and so sick. And one of the participatory roles that Pink, or not just that chat gets to participate in, whether you want to or not, you're under no obligation to do this, I should say. Is, I wanted to figure out a way to canonize, and I took a bit of inspiration from Technoblade for this, obviously, and Phil's with Minecraft. I wanted to canonize how chat makes sense, or why I'm talking to chat in any capacity, so I thought, you know what? What makes Steve so different from villagers? Maybe Steve's some sort of either, I don't know what he is. He might be a god, he might be a demigod, he might be a lot of things. wouldn't it be, well, in a semi, we are the voices, but in this case, gods, because in a very sort of ancient Greek way, in a very ancient Greek kind of idea, I like the idea of, one, it lets creativity for that, and it lets me build more lore in the world, because I get to, so in some of the lore, I've connected some of the gods that have been listed who had enough detail about themselves for me to make something with, that then there's old temples to them. There's like in the desert, there's an ancient temple to one of the chatters that I don't know if they ever figured out which one it was to. I don't know if they realized which one it was to. I am Mars gotta work. Absolutely, dude. People are free, like, that's the thing. You're free to either make your own or pick up an existing one. Timeless Tribune strive to bring the most up-to-date information straight to the people of the Ageless Empire. Oh, and that one of the coolest things to me, which is total like just story that has occurred in this. So like, there was very early on, like I was still in iron armor. I don't know how I lived. I really don't. Very early on in this, there was a I had because I wouldn't have known. I had killed some I'd killed some pillagers. I had the mark of them for the raid, and I'd killed some, and I didn't know that I shouldn't, like in game there would be no way for me to know that means I shouldn't go to a village. So I went to the village and started a raid. I lived somehow, and not only did I live, but very interesting, a number of villagers died. They did not, I reviewed, they did not all die in that raid. There's a number that didn't, but there was then an outbreak of zombies in the following night, and I had not realized all the iron golems were dead from that raid. And so because of that, the zombies were able to come and killed a bunch of villagers. So now there's only 2 villagers left, or 2 original villagers and 2 new ones who came along. That is David, who's our librarian, Soup, chat named him, Soup, who is a former Fletcher turned librarian as well, who helped me research things. And then we have a smithy named what do we call it? Rain and Rain is the gardener. And the boy, no, what? Yup, the what? Oh, we have a wiki. Oh yeah, we do have a wiki. Yeah, for example, my character is Caleb, child of Herald of Aphrodite area, aspect of exactly. Dave, I love Dave so much. Dave is a funky little guy. He's a little guy. There's like no like set descriptions, so just because some of us draw them certain ways doesn't mean that they're meant to be. Yeah, and that's the thing. I love the fluidity of it. Personally, I think it's a great way for people, because it gives reason for why I can seem distracted while talking to people. I talk to the villagers occasionally in little one-on-ones, I guess I'll call them vignettes, because it's fun for me. It's fun for me to be able to do. I enjoy it. Some might call me dramatic. I don't know. But during those times, the villagers don't necessarily trust the fact that your homeboy has, well, weird voices clearly in his head trying to tell him to do things. That's a weird thing to have. There's the soul tree there. Oh, there's also older ruins, which is how we get to the nether, through some ancient ruins that are just over beyond this way. The gods. That's the thing. Well, and see, what I love is that a lot of people, and not a lot of people talk about this per se, and I'm not saying it is or isn't canon, chatters. The gods that you are written about in ancient temples. There's not necessarily proof that the villagers know you are gods, or that they would worship what would be known as maybe the old gods. The old gods of a world aren't always still worshipped. So, gods of one age, the villagers really might, like, it very well might be going up to like somebody and be like, man, what do you love? Do you love, for lack of a better word, do you, oh yeah, Game of Thrones, perfect example. They worship the mother, the father, the 7 basically. But then there's the old gods, the weirwood trees, and the children of the forest in the north. So are we old gods, or do we, or do they have gods? You don't know. Who knows? Maybe that gets, maybe that's more clear soon enough. Anyway, up there's some more ruins that I'd like to get some more effort done onto. You're gonna launch about when to read the paper from last night. This when you read the paper? Oh my god. Are they Christians to our Roman pagans? Maybe. And that's the thing. I like to leave things vague because for me personally, this is very much a collaborative storytelling. Because again, we're not a very large. We're not large as a community kind of thing. We're not tiny, but we're not big. You know what I mean? We're a nice happy medium. And that ranges. Sometimes there's 4 people in stream, sometimes there's 30. I mean, it's been a little while since there's been 30. But actually, well, technically last Friday there was 29 for a little while, but that's because of a raid. But anyway, it's, I like the idea of collaborative storytelling, and life's unclear in our own world. History is very unclear in our own world. If you look into history, you find many different stories telling similar stories, but often sometimes very different. 80-bit. The most important. Okay. Yeah, sure. TikTok. TikTok's my largest following, but that doesn't mean TikTok people come over here. It's not 80 billion. It's 80. I have 80,000 followers. That's not. It's not nothing, but it's not like I'm. Listen, there's much bigger Minecraft creators. To the Indian, and I'm fine with the old gods. Like, oh, let's go. It's not 80 billion. No, don't let MJ misguide you. I have 80,000 followers, but that's just like TikTok does not translate to other things, okay? It's fine. That's not translating to like my YouTube or Twitch. It's very different groups. Reoccurring flood exactly. And I love that idea that maybe you guys come up with it, and I've picked I don't even know if you guys realize how many times I've just absolutely been like, that's genius, yoink. Or intentionally have tried to weave in things that I've seen you guys say as either theory or ideas or lore, etc. Like, I love that idea. I love the idea that you guys don't necessarily know in advance, but might say something, and that gets to be part of the world. I want you guys to be able to look at this world at times and see things that you help to make, you help to foster. I love that idea. I think collaborative storytelling is doable on this scale. If that makes sense, because it is that type of like, yeah, sure, it can get to be a lot more people. There can be like a good chunk of people in chat, but that's not consistent, and so that means that people can get more into the story that they want. And people have varied and different ideas. I love the differences in how people interpret things and how people can confirm on YouTube. You come up over the actual input. Let's go. Actually, on Google, I am on page 1 now. If you don't put a space, I come up first. But if you do put a space, I still come up on the first page, and not only on. I think I know my TikTok did for a while. I think also the site that Pink and Jester and a few other people posted to for stories, like the story site that they use, that one also comes up. If one day you build a random pile of gold due to the one time I said a gift and Dota are literally the gods throwing money at your face. The AO3, that's what the AO3. I'm sorry, I blanked on the name. That site also comes up occasionally. I don't know enough about that site, but yeah. Cause yeah, I like this as a creative writing process, and I like that people get to explore their stories. There's been people like some of the art that's been made that's really interesting, exploring different ideas. I think it's neat, you know? I think it's a neat way to do things, and it's insane to me how some things line up. Things just work out sometimes, and it feels like things are like paid actors. Like there was an Enderman at one point, and it's such a cool little experience. Where we last left off in the most meta speaking ways, out of canon. Where we last left off after that very big, the very big lore. So I made like a little 40-minute movie. It was anyway. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I got to like have some fun time with that. for that, it left off with just the knowledge of a location and a name. The knowledge of the name of a location, and that location is called the Ocularium. What that'll be, or where that is, or what that is, or etc. It just said, find the Ocularium. So who that is, what that is, where that is, what location that is, if it's a person, a final resting place, if it's a giant moon in the sky. I'm introducing Tekkit. I'm going to the moon, baby. I-building. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I've also, you know, I kind of wish I did go to the giant area. Well, if you look, if you scroll 1 or 2 rows back on my YouTube channel, you'll see that it says like, I built an Ender Temple, and that's just literally what I built for this world, which is really fun. Oh, and also as of late on TikTok, what I've started to publish on occasion is something called the like a kind of captain's log kind of thing, or journal log entries, I should say, because I really like the storytelling of like disjointed log entries that you find in like video games, where it's like got that grainy like cassette tape sound of like you're listening to somebody talk through like almost like an old radio sounding thing, and they're only like a minute long because it's a TikTok. And even though now I can do, I don't like the idea of making a TikTok longer. A minute's already a while, man. I genuinely don't get making TikToks longer than a minute. For me, personally. I've certainly watched some that are longer than a minute, but for me, personally, I don't know, man. I think it's more interesting to feel the limit, to feel how can I get this into a minute. I think it makes you be more creative. That's just me. But yeah. I need to eventually expand the farms out to there. The house that's actually up here needs to eventually be torn down. And oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This castle, the reason it's taken so long to actually do is because I'm doing it in quartz. There's not really an easy way to get quartz. It's difficult, man. It's not easy to get a lot of quartz. This was, yeah, the first. I never even finished it because I intended this to not last long. I didn't even finish the top part because I was like, I don't need this house to last me very long. I just need to enchant some things and they'll be fine. And then I'll have a castle built. Yeah, well, that was like a year ago, so you know. Interesting building material. I like the idea of the like what do you call it? Like the Ivory Palace kind of thing, like that White Palace like off or whatever. Yeah, like the, I don't know. A marble palace seems interesting to me. Soul sand. Oh my god. Sieve some soul sand. Good lord. Good lord. Oh, I also need to add to the soul tree. I need to add the hanging soul lanterns and stuff like that. And I do need to add like, yeah, a little bit of trim there, a little bit, little things. Lots of projects, and they're all just a little bit on the go. Like that's basically done outside of like 1 or 2 things, and I don't know why I didn't just like finish it. I just want to redo some of the some of the spindles, because when you look closer, it doesn't look as good. It looks kind of all right if I'm just like panning over it, but this is gonna be Edward. Dude, what's up, man? How do? Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully you're doing good. We're just we're going over the hardcore world for Snuffle. I should ask, do you want to like do you prefer your full name, just Snuffle? Do you prefer Uppercuss? do you prefer like any of it works? I tend to ask people what they prefer to go by, just because it's easier for me to be able to chat that way if I know the specific name that you like to go by, or the full name, Snuffle Uppercuss. Snuffle Uppercuss is perfectly fine. I can do that for sure. Snuffle's fine, sure, dude. As long as it's chill with you, man. It's the same with like most people. Yeah, like I tend to shorten most people's names for whatever reason, but yeah. I'm not at work, so incredibly good. Let's go. Also incredibly exciting. Not that I can't remember if you. I think you put that in the chat, but either way, I'll let you keep your secrets to yourself and stuff like that in case. But either way, super exciting for you, and I didn't get to respond to you about that. But either way, dude, sick. Absolutely sick. Congratulations. On like the start of all that and stuff like that. Also, Nap use Duderman as gender. Oh yeah, that's also yeah. I do that. If that doesn't work for you, do let me know. I can try to not do that. For me personally, I've always seen them as relatively gender neutral. I just go like, oh man, dude, let's do this. But I don't mean it as any particular gender personally. But if that is something that bothers you ever, do let me know, and I can do my best to correct that. This is a job I don't like. Oh, no one you don't like. Oh man. Thanks, dude, man. No, it's not. Oh my god. I have called. Oh man. I have absolutely. I called my own grandmother once. I was like, oh, thanks, man. Cause like, it's just what you say, man. You go, oh, thanks, dude. I don't know. It just comes. I'd be like, oh, dude. Like, I'm never gonna call somebody dudette. Like, bro, what am I gonna do? Change it? Fine with anything to don't worry. Let's go! Oh my god. Actually, it's pretty interesting cultural phenomena that English gets from Latin. Oh, Latin! Latin, my beloved. Dudette is stupid, but also... See, that's what I'm saying! Like, they tried to make dudette work at one point. I'm like, everyone can be dude. It don't mean nothing. It's just a term to mean you there. Like, Latin is based. Latin's so based. Latin is so. Winnie weedy weechy, my friend. Winnie weedy weechy. Oh. Breathe in that air. Breathe in that air. Is there? You good, homie? You alright? Alright. Oh, also there's a cleric. Total sidebar. Anything, like for instance, to learn about enchantment, the way that I did that was I had David send me on a quest to go 3 villages over. I didn't actually know where 3 villages over would take me. That's what I mean with things working out. Like, it just worked out that we found 3 villages over fairly quickly, and that 3 villages over happened to have a cleric in it, and that that spawned, and I was able to find that cleric, and that cleric is who taught me, who sold me XP potions, and those XP potions taught me about, you know, enchantment. Because I personally, I think within the canon of at least this world, but in Minecraft myself, I think the reason enchantment works is I see it like rune magic in kind of like a D&D stuff, but you're putting memory into the weapon or into the tool. Like, oh, why is this more efficient? What's efficiency? It's me putting my XP, my experience, my memory, and memory magic into a rune inscribed onto the tool so that it remembers how to hit things better or how to where to strike on the rock or whatever to make it more efficient. For me, that's what I like to think what it is. But, you know. Like streamer man. What? Me? I have a name. What do you mean I have a name? My name's Napoleon. What do you mean? Caesar ended that war in like a week. It could have taken months. Winnie Weedy Weedy was a very my dude straight up. Oh man. My man was like, hey, what if I just win? All he do is win, no matter what, except for one day in the Senate. But you know, man. It also depends on the mood. Most of the time in the chat, and it's okay. It's just, man, sometimes kind of triggers me. I will try to keep that in mind. Then I will try to avoid it for the most part. It really is. It's just like literally just what spews out. But if that is something that I can absolutely work to try to correct that for yourself, my friend. Nap has no name. Nap is endless. Nap's a mindset. His face when the enemy marches up the hill toward his defended position. Oh. What can I put in here? What can I put in here? Okay, I'm gonna move that up there. I'm gonna chuck that in there. I'm gonna put that in there for now. Put that in there for now. Chuck those there. And then move that out of there. Goes in there. That, wait, no, that should actually, I think, be in here. Or no, I can take that out. There. Dirt in there, dirt in there. And yeah, you know, let me just do that real quick. Yeah. No, why on earth would I do that? Why on earth would I have either of those like that? That would be lunacy. I swear to God I had a grapple area. Oh yes, I did. Perfect. There we go. And then that's gonna go there. Because you don't know if I'm being passive or chill, and I appreciate the mystery. Comrade is always gender neutral. As a Brit, we use mate a lot. What rank did you say the different sub-tiers are? Tier 3 is general, tier 2 is lieutenant, I believe, and tier 1 is officer. Or captain. It might actually be captain. I might have changed it to captain. Because yeah, I don't know. Originally I was like, wouldn't it be fun? It's Napoleon's empire, it's Napoleon's army. So I was like, there we go. Those are general, that's true. Oh, captain, my captain. And yeah, I wanted to give each one like a rank. You know what I mean? I thought that was cool. I'm a general, so true, king. I'm a general. Ooh-wee. Sorry, I had to. I had to. It's boiled into my bones. I literally can't not. I would simply combust. I would die. It wouldn't be a pretty death either. It'd be awful. It'd be horrible. It'd not be cute. Listen, I can die cute, but that would not be. Oh. Yeah, that would not be a cute way to go. Messy. Woof. Oh my God. Make that pitch higher. Control yourself. I'm getting the spray bottle. No. Here we are. No, I don't sneeze. I sneeze normally. I sneeze very normally. I know that I have a very deep voice and that my sneezes and such are very, very deep as well. How dare you suggest otherwise? Illegal. Anyway, chatters. So as for his pit, leave me alone! Leave me alone! Oh my God. So what? It was stupid. So what? So they ask. So, so did what's her face at the library. That doesn't change anything. Listen. I hate it. I hate it here. Anyway, chatters, you know what? On that note, I'm actually gonna probably end it right now. End it here for now. We'll be back at the very latest this Friday, same time every Friday and Monday is 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, typically. And then occasionally, you know, we try to do something in the middle of the week. Hopefully this week we'll have a another episode of the Star Wars Let's Play on Wednesday. But otherwise, chat, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope it goes well for you. I hope what you need to go well goes well for you. I hope you get, like, I don't know, like an ice cream or like a donut or something like that. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I'll catch you next time. Bye, chat. Bye, chat.